Recording.
Okay. I'm going to read you the introduction. In the 21st century, war was still waged over the resources that could be required. Only this time, the spoils of war were also its weapons: petroleum and uranium. For those resources, China would invade Alaska, the US would annex Canada, and the European Commonwealth would dissolve into quarrelling, bickering nation states bent on controlling the last remaining resources on Earth. In 2077, the storm of World War had come again. In 2 brief hours, most of the planet was reduced to cinders, and from the ashes of nuclear devastation, a new civilization would struggle to rise. More than 200 years later, the world is both horribly changed and eerily similar to the days before the bombs fell. Sure, the population was decimated, and the majority of those few doomed to dig through the wreckage of a different time in order to eke out a pathetic existence. And the wasteland is full to brimming with mutants, radiation, and other horrors. But human nature is just as it has always been. The strong rule over the weak, the disenfranchised flock to charismatic leaders, sacrificing freedom for belonging, and factions clash over what little resources remain. All the while displacing populations and destroying families in their wake with reckless abandon. This is where your motley crew enters the stage. 4 strong individuals brought together by a common purpose.
Are you going in the shower?
Riding. I've lost my place. There we go. Riding and protecting a caravan of lost and displaced wastelanders on their long and perilous journey to a new home. Guided by your friend, John the Vault Dweller, you and your caravan of the desperate and hungry, have travelled through harsh lands beset by many trials and tribulations along the way, until finally you have reached your destination, a long ago abandoned and seemingly forgotten military listening outpost in the northeast of Kentucky, in the Commonwealth of Columbus. While this is a triumph in itself, it is but the first action of many that you must complete. The site of the settlement, while largely intact, is far from perfect. The water purifier is heavily damaged and in urgent need of repair. The generator is inefficient at best and missing its essential fusion core. The radio antenna, crucial to gathering information about the surrounding area, is destroyed. What secrets lay beneath the site remain tantalizingly out of reach, sealed behind a heavy and impenetrable steel door. On top of this, rumors and whispers from passing wastelanders along your journey paint a picture of a land beset by constant and unabating war between factions. Ruined towns, ripe with supplies but radiated and bursting with ghouls. Monsters lurking in the dark forests, prowling the night for human prey. Tribes of organized and deadly raiders, and callous and well-armed slavers. These are just some of the tales woven and regaled to you in your travels. Sifting fact from fiction is hard, but you can certainly hear the exchange of gunfire in the distance, and on several occasions have found mutilated and dismembered corpses along your path. The battle for survival is harsh and unyielding, but there is one thing you know for sure. War. War never changes.
She said the thing.
Well, you have to say the thing.
Ooh.
We start our story as the caravan pulls into the site that will become the settlement that John yearns to build. You are, when I say a caravan, you have a wagon that is being pulled by some of the settlers. They take it in turns to pull it. It's piled with a small amount of supplies that have been dwindling over your journey. There are 10 settlers who have switched between riding in the wagon itself or pulling it. You guys mostly have been walking along the side, acting as caravan guards for the duration. John has mostly sat in the wagon on the grounds that walking for him is difficult with one leg and all. When you look at the site itself, we can pull up a little picture of the site actually on there. Let's do. There we go. This is a map of the site. You can see as you pull in through the old gatehouse, there is a large area around the base of the radio antenna, which is obviously used to be a very tall steel framed structure with dishes on the sides and cables that run down it. About halfway down, it's been damaged in such a way that it's collapsed over in half and lies across the empty space between where you enter the site and the base itself. Around you can see, and when you do your brief exploration of the site, you can identify these buildings relatively easily. A warehouse with a small office on it, empty. A room filled with radio equipment, dead. A barracks with a number of bunk beds in it, and what used to be an old mess hall and kitchen. All devoid of stuff. There's nothing here. You find the old fusion generator down the side of the equipment room. It doesn't look like ones that you've previously seen. It looks like it looks like it might be manufactured by a different company than that would have supplied most of the normal ones that you've seen previously. It looks like TAT. Some of the housing that you expect to see isn't there. And it is obviously it looks largely like it would work if it had a fusion core inserted into it. And in the distance, towards the back, the water purifier stands proud out of the side of the hill. Obviously, there is a pipe that runs to the river not far away that pumps into it and then provides water to the site itself. The site itself is on the brow of a hill. It has the advantage of high ground, and it has a partially complete chain link fence which runs around the perimeter, but there are large holes, large sections of it missing. It will provide a little defense, but not a great deal of defense. John will John will direct the scouting of the buildings. There's nothing here, and there are no threats. And within a couple of hours, people have started to settle. People have started claiming beds, setting up beds in the mess hall so there's sufficient for everybody, and getting you along your way. You're frowning, Phil. You're also muted.
Trying to open the book. It's not opening. Don't worry, I'll sort it.
Okay. Once everybody is settled, the wagon is on its last legs, to be perfectly honest with you, but it has made the journey. Once everybody is settled, their belongings taken off, beds have been claimed, materials have been moved from the buggy into the warehouse itself. Things are starting to settle. A small campfire is set. People start to gather to cook and eat, and they feel there's a general feeling of happiness, like you've achieved something already. It's a sparse site. There are things that need to be done in order to make it better, but you start to relax as the sun goes down. The light from the flames of the fire flicker. There's laughter, relaxation. Probably the first time you've heard laughter and happiness in a little while. The journey's been long and desperate. You start to relax. You enjoy an evening in amongst the people that you've grown to know. You might not like them all, but you've grown to know them. There's friendships that have been, or at least acquaintances that have been born out of the journey itself. You rest. When the sun comes up early in the morning, who is first up?
I'll go first.
Okay. Where would you have bunked down? You don't have beds per se, so you would have basically you've got like a bedroll that you've been using.
Would there be any room in the barracks?
There is there's physical room in the barracks, but there isn't a spare bed in the barracks. So you could bunk down in the barracks with everybody else. It's probably the warmest place.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you wake up probably earlier than everybody else. You step out of the barracks and into what is effectively like the central area, and you see John sitting in his chair, looking at the antennae, looking wistful. Your shoes crunch on the gravel, and he turns and looks at you and smiles.
You give him a nod.
Did you sleep well, Ralph?
Yeah, not too bad. A lot of stuff we need to be getting on with then.
Yeah. When your companions rise, we need to have a conversation about the next steps. I appreciate that I have put a lot of pressure on you collectively in protecting the convoy. And unfortunately, that's not going to let up. If anything, it's going to get more so now. We're going to be reliant on you for certain things in order to set up.
Sure.
I'm sorry about that. If I could get out in the field and do things, I would do it myself.
I get that. That's fine.
You waking up now?
Well, I've figured out we're already kind of semi-up, and I'm just thought I'd walk into the tail
All right,
end.
yeah, you can walk out.
Walk into the tail end of this conversation, just go, don't worry, Limpet, we'll look after it.
He smiles at your obvious kind of insulting but banterish reference.
Don't
John
worry.
never seems to take offense at you, or any of you.
Yeah, let's literally go.
Your talents will become useful later. Obviously, you're going to be useful in the first place, but your particular talents will become useful later once we've got everything established.
What doors do you want me to blow off?
That's not quite what I meant.
As long as I'm only meant to blow the bloody doors off, we're all good.
Eventually, we're going to need someone who's good at talking to traders. Once we've got this place set up and running, we're going to need supplies.
We'll need more than supplies. We want traders to drop in every week, month, something like that. See if we're making something that's worthwhile.
If we can find them. I don't know anything about the surrounding area. I don't know anything about the settlements. One of the reasons why it's important to get the radio set up so that we can figure these things out.
Well, you dragged me out of Seattle for this, so... Well, you didn't drag me out of Seattle, you dragged me out wherever I was at the time. But let's give it a go.
It's worth it.
Ralph, is it?
Ralph. Lucky Ralph.
Well, I'm Pretty Boy.
Nice to meet you.
So, who else is going with us, John? And who else do I need to get out of bed?
Who's the next one to wake up?
I wake up and I come out of the radio equipment room where I fell asleep looking at the salvage.
Okay,
And
so
I
you hear this
approach.
conversation, you walk out. Yeah.
Well, there seems to be a lot to salvage, a lot to fix. What are we doing first?
I'm glad you're here as well. This is your talents are going to be put to great use, certainly initially, but also progressively. You and Ralph, I think, working together are going to be essential to getting things up and running.
Initially, at least, yes.
Mm.
I agree.
People always break shit. Don't worry about that. It'll still be useful.
Speaking of which, where did Morg sleep?
I like to imagine since Morg is rather huge, he probably is sleeping in the warehouse. And I
I
imagine
half expected you to say in the wreckage of the antennae. He
I
just kind of
thought
like pulls himself out of the wreckage. Oh,
There he is in the dish.
I thought
Honey!
she was gonna say in the kitchen, like he got like a snack or something.
well, the kitchen really isn't set up. Also, he had to probably send Good Boy in to get the
Yeah.
snack because he's like 7'7". He's nearly 8 feet tall. He's
yeah, he's huge.
He's huge.
Okay, so you
When
come
it-
out of the warehouse. You can hear this conversation going on. And you hear something about breaking stuff.
Then I guess like a huge shadow will come across everyone, and then Morg will be like,
Morg like to break things. Morg help. Morg break things.
I am sure, Morg, there will be more than a few opportunities for you to be able to express yourself.
Morg like expressing himself. Him and Good Boy help John.
Good Boy walks out alongside you, ignores everybody else, and walks over to John's chair and sits next to him.
Is John on a wheelchair?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an old wheelchair that's been patched and bits of it have been replaced many times. It's a Frankenstein chair, if anything. It's not motorized. He has to operate it with his arms.
Why do I suspect it's got bicycle wheels on one side and like wheelie bin wheels on the other?
It probably has got it's probably got a pair of bicycle wheels on the sides, and then it's got kind of like wobbly casters from a shopping cart or something on the front. Makes it really awkward to moving around about the place, but John seems to be happy with it. After a brief second, John sort of thoughtfully ruffles Good Boy's fur for a second, and then he regards you all. There are some critical things that we need to get up and running, and they're going to be really pressing. We need to. There's obviously things that need to be set up with the settlement itself, and most of the settlers will be able to handle the actual work of building things. But there are things that need to be done specifically to provide functionality and resources to the settlement to enable them to be able to do their work. There are 3 things that are most important right away. The first thing is the water purifier. We have precious little water supplies left, maybe two days worth of water supplies left. Okay. We need to assess the water purifier and see if we can get it working. The fusion generator, we need to get power up and running. I think a lot of things are going to come online when we get the fusion generator working. One of the water purifier needs power in and of itself, so those 2 things are kind of linked together anyway. The third thing is the antenna. We need to do our best to see if we can repair the antenna, and that's going to be a problem because we don't have the materials to do it. We're going to need to find steel in order to do that. Now, what little information I have about the surrounding area suggests there are some ruined settlements a little way away across the river. And I have some information on a bridge of some kind to the south of us that'll get you across. I can give you some more information about the things. Tell me what you want to do first, and I can give you briefings on what we need.
How big's this river? Are we talking a stream, or
No,
are we talking...
it's a big, raging river.
So it's fast moving. It's
Fast
difficult
moving.
to cross.
Incredible. It's nigh on impossible to cross. The water
Okay.
is almost certainly radioactive. Swimming it is not an option for at least 50% of the party. And you have no idea what's living in it.
Right, and we're surrounded on three sides by it, aren't we?
You are. It's one of the great things about this site is that it uses the natural defense of the river to stop you from being assaulted from lots of different directions. But there may be a way across to the south, is basically what John is saying.
Okay.
John,
Also means it's a death trap.
John,
Hmm.
you brought us lot here specifically for a reason. I know a talent show when I see one. Who does what?
Ralph, I've brought you on board because you are...
Lucky.
Yes. I have personal experience of your talents with regards to your mechanical skills. We've worked together in the past, and I have previously been impressed with your capabilities. I also know you're good at finding things.
That makes sense.
If memory serves, you're also quite good with patching people up.
Yeah, I can patch him up.
Tarkus, your capabilities are similar, but in a different direction. Your scientific knowledge is going to be extremely helpful in working with any of the computer equipment we find, the radio equipment we find, all of that side of things. I think you two working in concert with one another is going to be incredibly useful to us.
Right on.
Rack, tell me, you've written about 15 names at the top of your character sheet. How
with
would
Joe.
John know you? John would know you as Joe.
Joe. Just go by Joe.
Okay.
Pretty
That's
Boy's the
fine.
nickname that I have because I'm a ghoul. Floyd's
Yeah.
surname. The other one's a reference to me.
That's fine. Joe, you serve two purposes with regards to the to this endeavor. The first one is your talents with regards to talking to people and trade. When we get set up, that's going to be absolutely invaluable. The other purpose for having you around is your other profession. Your abilities with regard to entering sites that may have been secured against such things.
Take the bank robber out. Can take the bank robber out of the time zone, but you can't take the time zone out of the bank robber.
As you say. Morg,
Yeah.
it may come as a surprise to everybody, but you were selected for your physical prowess. I think you are going to be very good at keeping the settlement safe, keeping your companions safe,
Morgar grin.
and helping to carry things back to helping to carry scavenged materials back to the settlement.
He'll nod eagerly.
Morg help. Morg help everybody.
Plus, I like your dog.
Good boy is best boy. Yeah.
Tell me what you want to do first. I mean, if you want to go and assess things first, we can do that, or you can do that. It's going to be a bit difficult for me to move around, but you guys can assess things if you want to first, and then we can have a conversation about how you want to proceed.
I've got an idea of how I want to go about it, but
Talk amongst yourselves.
so if the generator's not going to work with power, we need power, but there's no point in just going and fixing the generator without going and looking at it first. So if we were out and about and we find something, we know what we need, rather than toing and froing.
Yeah, agree. If we
And if
assess
you
all
two-
3 areas,
If you two are the tech boys, do you want to go up and have a look at it, and then we can come together and work out where we're going?
so we assess the water purifier, the fusion generator, and the antenna. Make a list of everything we need, and then go try to find it.
Okay.
Personally, I would just do the water purifier and the power gen for now. The antenna needs steel. We're going to have to hold that back. And the power of the water is more important. I can drink out radioactive water, so can Morg here. You guys can't.
I agree with you, but it's best we give it a look anyways, just so we know if we come across something that
If
we
we
might
come
need.
across it, then we know we
Yeah.
need it, rather than going back and trying to find it again.
Okay.
Just
Well,
assessment.
while
Okay.
you guys do that, I'll clean my pistols.
Okay.
Pulls out his revolver and starts breaking it down and cleaning it
Perfect.
out.
Morg will say,
More go get machete and board.
and then he'll go to grab it. Before he leaves, Morg will probably also
Good boy. Go with people. The smarties.
Fellow scientist.
Good boy looks at you, looks unlike Morg. You're used to the facial expressions of the dog. To everyone else, he just looks like a dog. He looks really unimpressed at the fact that you're sending him off with these idiots. But he does what he's told. What do you want to look at first, guys?
I'm going to go to the water purifier and then work my way back. I guess these big gaps, Chris, are these gaps? Is there a fence and there's gaps in it, or
Yes, that's exactly what
Right.
it is.
Yeah, okay.
And you can see from where you are on the top of the hill, like you can see the tops of trees. Like the main settlement itself is effectively from the ground, concealed by the trees. Once the tower's up, that won't be the case. But at the moment, that's why nobody has realised there was a site here in the first place.
Sure.
Do we know what we need to restore the fences, or should we take a closer look?
You can take a closer look.
I will do that.
Okay. So you're going to need to make a probably intelligence repair roll for figuring out the fences, if you want to do the fences first.
Now I need to do an in real life intelligence roll to figure out how to roll in this game.
Okay, so at the top of the sheet, you can there's a button, top left of the sheet. There's 2 buttons. One that looks like a 20-sided die, and one that looks like a little face. Dice rolls in this system use minimum of 2 d20, and what you're looking to roll as success is the attribute plus the ability. You need to roll under that in order to get a success. You can roll 2 d20 as standard on any roll, and then you have the option to purchase additional d20s with your action points, of which you have 5 action points because there's 5 characters.
Oh,
1 d20 costs 1 action point. An additional one after that costs 2. An additional one after that costs 3. So you won't actually be able
roll under something. Why are you adding dice?
because the more dice you roll, the more successes you can get. Each die that comes up
Right, you
under
don't
the
add them
roll.
up. Right.
No, you're
Right,
looking for your target number is your attribute plus ability,
Mhm.
and the number of successes dictates how difficult the roll is.
Okay, so what
Right.
roll do we need? Is it, you said intelligence and what?
It's going to be intelligence and repair to figure out what you need to do in order, what really the
Okay.
requirements are in order to do the repairs.
If
I'm
it's
rolling-
tagged. Sorry, if it's tagged, do you get a bonus?
If you roll a 1, on any of these d20s, it counts as a critical, which is 2 successes.
Yeah.
If you get a 20 on none of these rolls, it counts as a complication. Something bad happens.
Right.
If it's a tagged skill, the critical roll is under your skill rating, not 1. So if you got
Your rank, yeah.
if you've got like repair at 3, instead of rolling a 1, you got to get a critical, you can roll 1 to 3.
All right. So I click the d20.
Wait, sorry. Am I rolling or is Phil rolling?
Up to you guys. You can
both?
you can actually
Okay.
help each other. So if you're not very good, like Tarkus, if you're not very good at repair, you can opt to help Phil and just add a d20.
I have 3, but I guess he has it tagged. So
Yeah.
I should
So
help him, probably.
You can opt to help him and add a d20 automatically onto his roll.
Okay, but let's just do it like that then. He
Mhm.
can roll.
So if you roll first and see if you can help me.
No.
Opposite.
Because he's helping you, he adds a d20. So you're rolling
Okay.
3d20.
So I go into quick roll, dice 3d20, attribute intelligence, skill repair, and then just roll, yeah?
Yep. Okay, so
Oof.
automatically calculates your situation. Right.
Mhm.
So now you've got 1 success.
Yeah.
That is sufficient for what you want.
Okay.
Right. That gives you a basic understanding of the situation. You can repair the fence. You just need scrap. It's going to need probably a fair amount of scrap to repair the fence completely.
Can we make scrap?
You have to find it. You have to scavenge for it. Now the settlement can scavenge for it, and you can scavenge for it. When you're out and about and you find junk can be converted into scrap. Each of those squares is 2 items of scrap to repair.
Okay. We
Right,
need
so
a lot of scrap.
It's going to take a fair amount to completely repair it. Not impossible. And it's just common materials, effectively. Common material that you need to find. Now, you've got 30 common materials already in store. In fact, I'm going to do a thing now, because there is an additional channel. Which I want to give to you guys.
64
channel.
pieces of scrap, yeah?
Yeah. To repair the entire fence.
Yeah.
And I need to do 1. It changes. You should now see there's an additional channel called the settlement.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right. This contains all of the information about what you currently have and what you require on a day-to-day basis in order to make this work. You've got 2 days grace period, so you haven't got to worry about requirements in the first place, because you've got 2 days worth of supplies already. All right. But this gives you a basic idea about what is on. Actually, I didn't put did I put the fence on here? Partial fencing, high ground. I need to make an edit to. And I'll put a note on there. Partial fencing, high ground requires 4 common materials repair. There you go. So if you want to go through the process of doing that, it's going to take a while to complete, and that's something that settlers can do for you. You don't have to actively do it yourself. You just have to make sure they've got the materials to do it and direct them in the direction you want them to go. All right. But yeah, that's relatively simple. That will push the defensiveness of the site up quite a lot. It'll double the site's defense. All right.
Cool. Let's take a look at the power. Phil. I mean, Ralph.
Water purifier, yeah? Or the fusion generator, which one do you want to go next?
Either one works, but I imagine we were at the fence. Now let's go to the water purifier, then you move to the generator, and then at the antenna, right?
All right. Give me another intelligence plus repair roll, and if you're helping, you can add a d20 to it.
I am helping. I mean, though, isn't it more worth if I roll 2 d20s instead of like giving him 1 d20? But
Well,
no, it's because he has the tact skill.
Yeah.
That's why I'm helping.
So
4 successes.
well, no, it's a bit more than 4 successes because repair is tagged, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 8 successes. Oh no, it's 4. My apologies.
four,
It is
yeah.
4 successes. It's already calculated. Yeah, that's already calculated because you've rolled under your rating in repair.
Twice.
I'm like, how you got 4 with 3 d20?
Yeah, my apologies. You're quite right. 4 successes. You get a really good understanding of this unit. You might have seen one of these before. It's not quite like the rank and file ones you normally see. Normally, water purifiers you place in water. This is obviously away from the river and is pumping water directly in from the river via a pipe. It looks like it's largely intact, but when you dig into the guts of it, you realise that it's blocked. And you reach up inside and you find a filter. When you pull it out, a whole bunch of gunk comes out of it, and you realise the filter is destroyed.
Right.
The only thing you need to get this working is a replacement carbon filter. It's a specific item.
Uh-oh.
Okay. No worries.
All right.
Can't repair that carbon filter.
It's destroyed. It's beyond repair.
Okay.
You could. I mean, it's not impossible that something could be jury rigged to get up and running. You don't know how long that would last for. And it would require supplies in order to make it in the first place, and probably uncommon materials in order to make it.
Okay.
But you could. That's something you could investigate if you had access to uncommon materials.
All right.
So if I can repair an item without needing to expend any components,
Yeah,
by jury rigging it,
yeah,
can I try to do that?
you can, and it will work for a period of time,
Right.
and then it will cease working.
Okay. How much water do we need a day? We've got
Says
2
on.
days worth, haven't we?
Yeah. You're not in dire straits yet. You've got sufficient food and water to last you for 2 days.
And then we need 10 units for every day.
Yes. For every settler needs to have 1 unit of food, 1 unit of water, a bed, and 1 unit of defense.
Okay.
Otherwise, the settlement gets unhappier, and when happiness dips below the number of settlers, there's a roll to see if anyone basically leaves. And then the settlement dwindles away down to nothing, and then there's no settlement anymore.
Can I try to jury rig it just in case we're away for more than 2 days? With a
Yes.
view, don't use it unless you've run out of water and we're still not back.
Yeah. I mean, the purifier won't work without power anyway.
Oh,
But
right,
you can put that in place in advance now if you want to try it.
well, we haven't got anything to power it, have we?
No.
Right, doesn't matter then. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go and look at the fusion generator.
Okay.
Yep.
The fusion generator.
Say more?
No. This isn't a repair check. This is going to be a science check. It's an intelligence science check.
Oh,
So if you want
it's
to do
my time to shine.
If you want to do the opposite way round,
Yeah. So I've got science 3. It's not tagged, so I can help.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'll give you
Perfect.
So 3d20.
Right. Oh, only.
Lovely. No, that's 2. That's good. This is a critical success. So you take the housing off of the fusion core, and it's set up in a really weird way. You haven't seen one that's configured like this before. It's really inefficient. the setup for this is incredibly inefficient. You probably reckon it's going to output power at a rate of about a third of what you'd expect a normal fusion generator to put output. But it should work perfectly fine. There's nothing missing off of it except the fusion core. Without the fusion core, it literally will produce no power whatsoever.
Can I make like a improvements on it so it's more efficient?
You might be able to. It's going to take that would require some materials, but yes, you could.
What kind of materials would I need so I can keep it in mind?
Let me get back to you about that. It's going to be uncommon materials, certainly.
All right.
And there's going to be a limit to how much better you can make this. You reckon you could probably squeeze it up to about 50% of what a normal fusion generator would work at, which is a lot. Fusion generators normally produce about 100 units of power. This is currently, if you can get the fusion core set up, this will probably operate at about 30%. 30%. You could probably squeeze it up to 50% if you do a good enough job.
How much power would you need, like, for the facilities? It says zero power. We don't need any power.
Well,
we need power for the water supply. How much power is that?
So it should all be on the settlement thing. The water purifier itself requires 2 power. The radio equipment will require 2 power. The lights in the facility itself should all add up to about 9 power for the surface buildings. But you can see that there are, through the grating around the steel door that leads underground, you can see there are light fittings underground as well. So when you turn the power on, it will supply power to the bunker as well.
Okay.
So that generator doesn't provide enough power for everything, does it?
It will certainly provide enough power for everything on the surface.
Right. Okay.
You don't know what's being used underground, but it certainly will provide enough power for everything on the surface.
So we can route it for only to give only power for upstairs.
Once you've got it up and running, yeah, you probably could.
All right, cool.
And there may be other ways that you can conserve power as well. One of the things you can do is you can disconnect the lights, for example. So you could, but that will make people unhappy if there aren't lights.
I mean, it doesn't sound really safe, so.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on
anything else?
No.
Cool.
I'm good.
Can we have a look at this door?
You can certainly have a look at the door. Yeah. The door itself is a large steel door. It has like a grate in it. That's double walled. The steel door is about 3.5 inches thick. You can see through the grate that there is like a descending set of stairs beyond it, and you can see a light fitting in the distance, and it's just darkness beyond that. Next to the door itself, there is a keycard swipe, which has no lights on it because it is dead.
Okay.
You don't think there's anything wrong with it beyond the fact that there's no power.
So we get power to it, and then we get Joe to break into it.
Perhaps.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't look pickable, but maybe he can give it a try.
I mean, if he wants to have a look at it and see if it's pickable, he can.
You're muted, right?
I'm cleaning my gun next to John chatting shit. So if they want to get me a look at it, I will come over and have a look at it.
I'm gonna like call out to him to take a look at the at the door.
Excuse me, ladies need some supervision. Off I go.
Okay. Do you want to make an intelligence lockpicking check?
Good. All right. Okay. Let me find my card sheet. Intelligence 5. Lock Picking 3, not a great thing. And the dice rolling button is where?
Top of the sheet, top left.
Can we help him?
If you've got lockpicking as a skill,
No.
you can add a D20 to.
Have 0 actually.
So I've got
Zero
my
next.
lock picking is a tag skill, so it's 2d20, yeah?
It's 2d20, and you're rolling under whatever your attribute plus ability is. Wow, look at that. Critical.
Seriously?
It takes you next to no time at all to arrive at a full assessment of the door. You don't think it's pickable, per se. There is... The key card is the thing that effectively governs whether the lock opens or not. It's not a mechanical lock. There is a mechanical process on the inside, but you think it's powered, and without being able to get to it, you won't be able to short it. It's not impossible that if you had a working terminal and someone with a sufficient skill in science, you might be able to hack it. But this is not the kind of door that you're good at. You're more mechanical stuff.
So I have the perfect answer for this. I'm going to look at them and go, it's a door, lads.
Brilliant. I think that's the kind of insight we need on this show. Right.
Do you know what kind of door it is?
One that you can't get past by the sound of it.
Oh, I can get past it. There might not be much left of the place, but I can get past it.
You're not sure you could.
Oh, no, I'm sure I
No.
could get past it. I can guarantee you there won't be anything left of this door, this hill, this village.
A mini nuke might get past it.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Might get past it, but this is a military installation that's designed to withstand that
I
sort of
wasn't
stuff.
thinking mini nuke. I was thinking like an unexploded bomb fell next to Megaton or something.
I mean, yeah, if you wanted to drop a nuke on it, then maybe you can get past it that way.
Proof of the matter, guys. This is all run by electrics. This is all. The only way I could open this is if you could cut through that steel to get to the manual components to open it up, and that ain't happening. This is literally power on somewhere with some more brain cells in a computer than I own, cracking on. It's not my skill set. Unless you want to blow it up, at which point the only thing that's going to blow this up, not going to want to be near.
Okay.
I mean, there aren't even
this is a job
hinges
for
on
you.
there aren't even hinges on the outside of it. They're all on the inside, so it's designed to stop intrusion, like a military grade.
It's an old bolt style door.
Yeah, not exactly. More, I suppose not vault as in Fallout vault, but it is effectively a military security door. Yeah,
Bank vault. It open the hinges on the inside.
Yeah.
It'll hinge out if it hinges out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I've cracked vault doors like this when they were manual on the inside and out. This is not. This is electric. We need power.
Okay. So
Did
you
you
guys have a
two-
look at the antenna.
okay.
As you're walking towards the antenna, Morg will show up. He's wearing some raider armor fitted for super mutants on his torso, and then also on his left arm. And then on his back, you can see a huge machete and a big board on as well.
When you say board, do you mean like a 2x4?
Yeah, it's probably as big and thick. Like it's just his board. It's not his favorite, but
lumberwood.
lumberwood. And then his machete is like a long piece of rebarb, and then like a stop sign, but it's like been sharpened, but so on each side, so it's almost like a sword, but he calls it his slicey slice.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
And then he'll probably be walking beside a good boy as you are walking.
Okay. What did you want to look at next?
The antenna.
All right, that's going to be a repair roll again. Then.
I am helping.
Okay, thank you.
Helping.
One success.
Cool. That's all you need. It's very simple. This is going to be an incredibly simple repair, providing you've got steel beams.
Wait, I have a question. Why isn't it 2 successes?
Why isn't it 2 successes?
Because it's
Yeah.
not under 3.
Yeah, it'd have to be
So,
under 3 in
The
order for it
target
to.
is 11, so the 14 and 19 aren't successes. The 8 is, but it's not a 1, 2, or a 3.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't count as double.
You could, if you wanted to, spend a luck
Oh,
point.
and under 3. Oh, I get it now. Okay, sorry. I thought.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right.
You could
I
spend a
understood
luck point and re-roll re-roll your one of your failed dice.
Nah, I'm quite alright, thank you.
Okay.
How
This
many
is going to
steel
be
beams?
this is going to be a super simple repair, but you're going to need somewhere in the region of about 8 steel beams to repair it. The frame itself can probably be the bit that's broken off can probably be taken apart and salvaged and put back together again. But that middle section that's broken needs to be replaced, and it needs steel beams in order to do it.
All right. So we need 8 steel beams, a fusion core, a carbon filter, and about 35 units of scrap.
You're going to need a lot more scrap than that.
Why?
Because the common materials,
Mhm.
common materials are used in making all sorts of stuff. So the settlement itself is going to need things like common materials to make farming plots to be able to produce food.
Okay.
Can we like break down the caravan gear that we came in with for scrap?
That's all taken into consideration. Like the
okay.
actual wagon itself is on its last legs and falling apart. And when you are unloading, effectively that gets recycled into the materials they're going to use for making stuff with. So you've got about 30 units of scrap available to you right now.
Okay. And John said there was a bridge to the south.
He's heard
Yeah.
that there is some kind of bridge to the south.
Mhm.
Now, he will tell you that there is a bridge to the south that will take you across the river, that will take you into Indiana, and that there are 2 settlements you might want to go and check out. One of them, or settlements, not settlements, old towns, ruins, effectively. One's called Fredonia, and that is that's the closest one. You basically have to go out of the across the river and then follow the circuit, the bend in the river back, and you'll get to Fredonia first. And then beyond that, there is another location called Leavenworth, which is probably he thinks that's a larger settlement. Well, not a settlement. It's a larger ruined town.
Okay.
You might find what you're looking for there.
How far do we think it is to Leavenworth?
So he has a basic idea. He doesn't know for certain. He's going on on the rumors that he had in the first instance. So he did some research and found out about this place, and did some and talked to people and found out a little bit about this. He thinks that it will take you about half a day to get to Leavenworth and about a quarter of a day to get to Fredonia once you've crossed the river.
Which one's the bigger place?
Leavenworth.
I think we go straight there, cross the river, go as far out as Leavenworth, and we can always visit the other one on the way back.
I mean, both places are effectively quite close to the river, but you effectively have to come out and then all the way around in order to get to it.
Okay. Chris, on the map, there's a place called Battletown and a place called Brandenburg. Is it before them?
Where are you looking? What map are you looking at?
One in the settings.
No. Right. See where the X is?
Mm-hmm.
Immediately south of there, on the river, is where the crossing is.
Yeah.
And then if you follow the loop of the river back around where your where the settlement is, Leavenworth is immediately north of the settlement.
Right. All right. So we're gonna have to go south, cross the river, and then loop back and
Yeah.
north and go
And-
up.
And Fredonia is immediately west of the settlement on the other side of the river.
Right, okay. And Fredonia is the bigger one.
Fredonia is the smaller place,
All right,
and Leavenworth is the larger place.
okay. All right. So we cross the river and then we go back on ourselves and go up to Leavenworth, yeah?
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yep. Sounds like a plan.
So good to morgue.
Joe?
Pulls his revolver back together and goes, right, let's get going then. Before we go, John, you gonna be all right on your own?
Yeah, I'm not on my own. He looks at the settlers who are coming out, and they're already starting to mill around and do things. There was already starting. One of them starting to set up a garden plot.
You sent any of them out hunting?
Not yet. We've got food for the next couple of days. We're good for the next couple of days.
Well,
We can
let's hit
talk
the
about
road.
that when you get back.
Let's hit the road then, boys.
Come, good boy. We go out on adventure.
He wags his tail.
So we're gonna be gone for a day, right?
At least, yeah.
I mean, you could probably get to Leavenworth and back in a day.
Yeah, like how does the food work here? Like, do we need to make sure we're carrying food?
It's a good
So
idea to
hang
have
on,
food.
mate. You're a science guy and you don't know how food works.
You put food in.
Yeah, I'm another
and
survival guy.
Stuff
Yeah.
comes out the other side. So you need to have sufficient food on you. If you go a certain amount of time without eating, then you'll get hungry. Same with water. You'll get thirsty, and that will have a negative effect on your stats.
Yeah, I'm
So
just asking,
usually-
like, how does
Usually,
is
I-
that a roll at some point? Like,
I think it's 8 hours.
because I'm not carrying, like, my person's not carrying any food and water. That's why I'm asking.
Oh.
We'll worry about that on the road.
Does anybody have in their inventory anything that will be of use to them, and they're interested in sharing, or are they quite happy to keep their mouths shut and have everything to themselves?
What
So-
it doesn't tell you is how much food it is. It tells you how many hit points it heals, but it doesn't tell you
It's 1 unit of food.
each thing is 1 unit of food.
Yes.
Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3 units of food and 2 units of water.
Okay.
So I have, as he's milling around doing the crop thing, I go into my rucksack, yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
And I'll pull out some seeds for some grain or something, whatever I've got on me, food wise.
You've got a unit of razor grain.
I think I've got a unit of razor grain. I think I've got 2 units of something else.
Okay. Are you keeping that to eat, or what are you doing with it? Are you giving that to the guys for
I'll
planting?
give that for the plants.
Okay.
Since I see him like stacking up a plot.
They'll need 2 units of a food type, a crop type, in order to be able to plant it.
So they have a unit of razor grain from me, and they have 2 units of something else that was cheap.
Pick one.
Tomatoes.
Potatoes. Yeah.
I've got a unit of razor grain.
Okay.
So I'll give them that unit of razor grain along with Joe's unit of razor grain, and that means they should be able to start planting razor grain, yeah?
Perfect.
Razor
and
grain and
just
potatoes.
Take it
It's
off.
like a great fucking meal, but it'll start.
I am going to make a note of that in the supplies.
The downside is we're now living off the land, so we come across a rad stack, shoot the fucker in the head.
Yeah, I guess we're also looking for food while we're out there.
Yeah.
It's gotta do three rolls till we make it back.
And 2.
I've got some other bits and pieces if we get desperate.
Okay.
Morg has his extra pipe rifle that he'll have with him, but if anyone wants to use it,
Is he
Let
he's not eating it?
nah. He just
Okay.
doesn't
Spit
like it.
chewed.
It's like, ugh.
Okay.
He doesn't use it because it's too tiny for him.
Good. So you're heading south towards the site that John points out to you. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't take you very long. It takes you maybe 25 minutes, half an hour to get to it. You basically there is an old path that leads up to the site, which is mostly overgrown. And you pick your way through it, and then head down towards the shore of the river. There are ruined buildings that obviously were houses that used to be arrayed around the outside of the river itself, but they're not intact at all. It's the last few bricks of that mark out the shape of what a building used to be. And you eventually find yourself on the shore. You can see what John referred to as a bridge isn't a bridge. It's more like what used to be a ferry. There is a long length or two long lengths of chain which extend across the river, solid steel chain. And you can see a pulley system that's connected to a motor of some description. The motor is ancient. It's been out in the weather for hundreds of years at this point and is functionally destroyed. To make matters worse, the ferry itself, you can see bits of it at various points all along the shore, and the wood that it was made out of is spongy and rotten. The chain is intact and solid.
Are we surrounded by woodland, Chris?
Say that again, mate, you broke up.
Are we surrounded by woodland?
You are. There are trees all over the place.
Is there any way of repairing this motor, or is it gone?
The motor is destroyed. I mean, it's beyond repair at this point. But you could still use the chain.
Morg?
Yes.
Point to a tree. Choppy choppy?
Okay.
And Morgan will walk up to the tree and start chopping it.
I think what we really need here is a strength survival check.
Okay.
Making a raft what we're chipping with.
That's my intention.
Yeah,
That is the
yeah.
reason why I've looked at it. Just going Morg choppy choppy.
More like push the tree down. Too,
Pretty much.
Yeah, the next one is, other than getting trees, boys, I ain't got a clue.
So, okay,
Could we
attributes.
manually use the chains to pull us across rather
That's
than use the
intention
motor?
for the log.
Yes.
The intention is to put the log in the water, stand on the log, pull ourselves across. We might need more than one log, but it's doable.
Strength, and then
Survival.
survival. So 1d20.
2d20.
Okay.
2d20 is the minimum you should be rolling.
Two
Lucky.
successes.
Perfect. It takes you no time at all. Two swipes of your of what do you call it? Cut.
Cut, or slice.
Two cuts, two strikes of cut, and a little bit of brute force, and a large tree topples to the ground. And you drag it without any difficulty at all over to your companions.
And then he'll drop it,
Here.
In fact, if you're looking to put more trees down, you probably get 2 trunks out of that.
and he'll look at him.
Do you want smaller?
Yeah, please.
and then he'll chop it to where it's side by side, like a plank.
Oh, you're halving them into like half logs.
If that's what is.
Well, basically, whatever's appropriate for us to stand on and pull ourselves across the chain with.
So you're
Is that-
effectively making a raft, or are you using specifically a log?
Log's
going to be easy because you've got one. You just put it in the water and stand on it and pull yourself across using the chain. But you're going to have to balance on it. I'm going to get you to all make rolls to maintain your footing, and a failure will end up with you getting wet. A raft, if you spend some time building a raft, you won't have to do that.
We'll make a raft, boys, and then we can beach it on the other side.
Yeah, why not?
Raft it.
I was thinking the raft is better.
I think then we probably want a repair roll then.
Okay.
I'm helping.
And I helped.
You can all help if you want to.
Sure.
Nope, it's not my specialty.
If you've got a dot in repair, you can help.
Oh, well, never mind. Morg can't help.
Morg's already helped.
I mean,
Joe
Morg.
got a dot in repair. Or
If
not?
you ask Morg would be like,
No, he hasn't.
I could put it there, and then put tree over river, but yeah, you don't
Oh
want.
no,
Morg.
the river's very wide.
Yeah.
2 successes.
Beautiful. You fashion a raft. It's pretty sturdy, actually. You think it's probably gonna last for a while.
Okay.
The chain itself you can use to pull yourself across, and if Morg's doing it, you can probably get across the river relatively quickly.
Well, that's again the intention.
Thing.
On board we go.
Will this raft hold all of us, weight-wise, including Morg? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the dog.
I'm not so worried about the dog, but never mind. Okay.
I'm surprised the dog isn't saying anything.
If you had proper materials, like while you're working on this, if you had proper materials, you could build a much better vessel and maybe get the you won't be able to, unless you had a replacement motor and power to power it. That might be a bit like pie in the sky thinking, but in order to, like, if you wanted to make it like a manual thing, you could make a much better one that would get you across the river much quicker, much easier. But at the moment, it's going to take about 10 minutes to get you across the river if Morg is pulling you.
What do we need to make it better and quicker?
Materials.
Okay.
10 uncommon materials to effectively rebuild the boat and the mechanism so that the boat is connected to the chain, and then you just pull the chain and it will automatically winch you across. Essentially, it's a winching system.
10 uncommon materials, yeah?
10, yeah.
Morg will take a look at the spent motor and see if there's any uncommon materials in the motor.
Everything's destroyed. Everything's rotten and rusted.
And he'll just kick it.
Yeah, I mean, you go to kick it and it falls apart. It falls apart at the thought of you kicking it.
Ha! It knew Morg strong.
Okay. Gonna need a strength check to get you across the river. You're going to get across irrespective, but the amount of time it takes will be dictated by the strength check.
Got you 2d20 strength, and what's the other one? Athletics?
Yeah.
Before we get in the boat, can we have a quick scan of the opposite shore and make sure no one's waiting for us to get on the boat?
You can't see anybody on the opposite side. In fact, you can see there are trees, but you can see that there's a thin layer of trees, and you can see open ground on the other side.
Right,
you can't see settlements, you can't see buildings, you can't see anything immediately obviously waiting for you on the other side.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, this ferry hasn't run for a really long time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure there's nobody waiting on the other side of the ferry until we're sitting ducks in the middle of the water.
Yeah, no, fair.
So since my athletics is a checked, do I get an
Checked, yep.
extra? Or no?
No, you get you roll 2d20,
Gotcha.
and then you'll get a critical if you roll under it.
One success.
One success. So
Close.
you get across without any difficulty. It's a little bit more unwieldy than Morg was imagining, and it takes about 15 minutes to get you across the river. When you get into the middle of the water, the boat rocks a little bit and it's a little bit hairy. You can see something moving around in the water underneath you, but nothing comes out. And eventually Morg pulls, with some exertion, I mean, this is hard work, pulls you to the other side.
How do we get back action points if we use one?
If you
example,
score more successes than you need on a roll, the additional successes convert to action points.
can we ask you how many
Overall
successes
minimum.
we need?
How many what? Sorry?
Sorry, can we ask you how many successes we need for a roll? Before...
normally I'll tell you, yes.
All right.
If I don't say, it's one success.
All right.
And can we go over 5? Was 5 always the maximum?
5 is the maximum you can have.
Right.
Now, if you run out of action points, you can still use action points to buy dice, but doing so gives me action points. And I don't have a cap on how many action points I can. And I can spend them whenever I like.
Okay.
Do you have any action points now?
No. I start with none.
Start with 0, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. You get yourself to the other side of the river, you secure the raft. I'm not going to put it in quotation marks, it is a raft. You secure the raft. And you are welcome to Indiana.
Can we hide the raft? Is there some undergrowth or something that we can... Was it too big?
It's kind of big. You can pull it up onto the bank,
Mm-hmm.
but once it gets out of the water, it becomes really difficult to move, even for Morg. Like, Morg could do it. Morg could pick it up and carry it, but it would be something of an exertion to do so.
Right, okay.
We just want it so it doesn't bugger off without someone else making it bugger off.
When I say it's secured, it's not going to go anywhere.
So,
Morg can always cover it with leaves.
Yeah, I mean, you can if you want to do that. If you want to hide it with undergrowth, you can do. That's not an issue.
Okay,
Sorry.
let's do that.
Okay. Worst case scenario, we'll just make another one, I guess.
True enough. So that took you about an hour to get the wood together, build the raft, and winch you across.
All right.
So what I need to know is where you're headed. Are you going to Fredonia or are you going to Leavenworth?
We've still got a fair part of the day. We've just got up, haven't we?
Yeah, so you've got up at dawn. You've got about 14 to 16 hours of daylight.
So what? Let's go all the way to Leavenworth. That's the biggest settlement, yeah?
Okay, sure. Okay. Just to let you know, you've completed the first quest. Getting across the river was the first quest.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah. So, are you sticking to the river as you go around? Because as you, well, I need to know how you're progressing. Are you sticking to the outskirts of the river, or are you cutting into the land and moving around?
We need to go north, don't we?
Well, you need to go west, around, and then north. Yeah, it's in a kind of like loop. Yeah.
Should we just follow the river? Does anyone think of any reason why we wouldn't just follow the river?
I think we should follow the river in case you find something like a boat, and then we can like go directly across the river on our way back.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So you start to move. You walk down the outskirts of the river. You can see the river is fast moving, a dull brown color. There's a certain metallic smell that comes from it, which isn't not terribly pleasant. The undergrowth has grown up to there's a slight kind of like muddy beach on the outskirts of it, which is effectively what you're treading down. There is a line of trees, and you can see that the trees are thin, and there's more open ground out to the left of you as you're progressing. But you follow the river as you go. Going is a bit hard. It takes a while. About 3 hours later, you see a settlement. You don't think this is Leavenworth. You think this is the other place. It is built on up to the edge of the river itself. Fredonia is a small town. It's not a particularly large place. There are some fairly intact buildings in it. You see it from a distance. It's up to you if you want to go in or if you want to beeline or make your way around it or not. If you want to go around it, that's perfectly fine.
We're already here, boys.
I mean, if we want to go to the North City first, we should go around it. What if we go through it and we get involved in something?
We know where it is. Let's go around it. Carry on the original plan. Get to Leavenworth, and then hit this on the way back. Happy?
Yeah.
Well, if it's what you want to do, then.
Morgra shrug.
Okay, so you move through the undergrowth and beyond into the open area. The open area itself is rocky. It's mostly flat, and you can see for quite some distance. There are sort of like areas where there's trees and scrubland and slight hills. You can see ruined walls at various places. And while this is going to add a little bit of time to your journey, it's not going to add a particular. It's not going to be arduous. It might add half an hour to make the detour around the place, and you give it some safe distance. You know, these kind of settlements is the wrong word. I keep saying settlements. These kind of towns tend to be the kind of places that collect things. Creatures look for shelter, and if you're not prepared for them, they can be a mixed blessing. But you make your way around Fredonia. Where is Fredonia? Oh, it is. There are only a few intact buildings in the perimeter of it. So it doesn't take very long to get around. As you progress, you're in a fairly large flat area. As you progress, you see something in the distance. It's a little way off your path, but you see a shape, something moving around. It doesn't seem to be moving towards you. It just seems to be moving in its wherever it's currently located.
Is it moving with purpose, or is it moving randomly?
No, it's difficult to tell. This. In fact, actually, do you want to make a roll?
Yeah, okay.
Is everyone making a roll?
Do you want to make a roll? Do a let's say it's going to be perception and
Survival?
Yeah, I think survival's probably the logical one here.
3 successes.
Oh my god, I got a success!
So it looks like, for those of you got one success, you can tell that it's a creature of some description, but it's too far away for you to be able to make any details of it out. Those of you with 2 successes, you think it's a fairly large creature, and you think it's moving. When it's moving, it seems to be eating. Like you see the kind of motions where something is going down and eating something from the floor.
And for those with 3 successes?
You get 3 successes.
Somebody got 3, yeah, Phil.
Oh, you're pretty sure it's a Brahmin.
A what?
It's a cow.
It's a cow, a large radiated cow with 2 heads. You
Okay.
make out that the silhouette of 2 heads on it.
I guess my character can either, can you eat them, or are they radiated, or
People
you
eat
can
No.
eat them but they're radiated?
No, they're not radiated. So they're one of the weird mutations of the wasteland that actually is a success. They are bigger than normal cows. They have shorter legs, but they're bigger than normal cows. They have 2 heads, and they have an uncanny ability to be able to eat most foliage and vegetables, but they can output milk that isn't irradiated. And if you slaughter them for meat, their meat is not irradiated either. Their body processes radiation.
Okay. So I will relay this to the group. It's a, would you say Raymond?
Brahmin.
Brahmin.
Brahmin. Do we want to detour and catch it or kill it?
We will, at the very least, kill it. We could consider about capturing it for the settlement.
Can I just make a key point, guys?
Get it on the boat?
Getting it on the fucking boat. The lack of boat that is a raft.
That's
You know,
gonna
if you
be-
want to carry a Brahmin's dead ass across the fucking river, that's going to be easy. You want to carry a live Brahmin across the fucking river with whatever the fuck's floating in there? Nah.
More punch it in
However-
head.
However, you have to punch it twice because
Punch it in head. Okay, fair enough.
However, settlements very often have Brahmin because they produce milk, which counts both as a unit of water and a unit of food.
Right.
And the other thing that Brahmin do, which is incredibly useful for settlements, is you put food in one end and fertilizer falls out the other end, which can be used to make more farming plots. So they're a very valuable resource to settlements, but you're quite right to point out that getting it back to the settlement might be something of a task in and of itself.
It's not even that, like, we cannot take a detour right now. Like, who's gonna, like, take this Brahmin back? Like, are we gonna have it follow us to the towns for salvage? And then, like, how are we gonna, like, can maybe make it follow us, and then we can, like, stuff
For
for
now,
to
guys,
carry?
yes, we stick to what we plan was, which we go find, see if we can see a fusion crossing that fix the water purifier. If it's here, it's here. If it's here when we get back, it's here when we get back. Oh, I can walk up to it, blow its brains out, and we can go make some ass jerky.
I think that's the dilemma right now. Either we find a way to make it follow us, or we kill it for food.
Morg will look at Good Boy.
Good boy. You can do something with cow?
I could eat the cow.
No, not eat cow. You want milk?
It sits down, raises its paws up, looks at them. Not really my forte, dear boy.
Like shepherd the cow south.
That's what Morg is trying to get at, but he doesn't know.
I see. You wish to use me as some kind of shepherding beast. one of the most advanced units produced by the US military. You want to use to chase animals around and about the place. I'm not sure I should be entirely surprised to hear such a suggestion from this group. It's possible.
You just see the ghoul smirk as he turns away.
Just think, more milk.
It's a waste of time right now, guys. We can always come back. If it's still here, we'll deal
I
with it.
agree with Joe.
If there's more than one, we can bring a group. But we need something better to pull it across the river. If not, we're bringing dead meat. It's not worth it right now.
Well, I don't know. More could probably carry it across the river.
I don't disagree you could carry it across the river. What I'm concerned about is what's in the river that could eat Morg or the cow or the Brahmin.
I disagree with the. We can always come back. Means the cow will wander off.
Right. Hey.
So sorry to interrupt. You do know Brahmin are, when they're domesticated, they tend to stay put, but when they're wild, they move around, just eating whatever they can get their mouth around. So there's no guarantees this creature is going to be here when you go back.
Right.
How big a thing is this for the settlement? Okay, I mean,
It'd be quite a boon.
right. Look, we know where the first town is. Yeah. I say we take this back to the settlement. It gives us fertilizer. It gives us milk. It's a good thing. We're not a million miles away. We've been, what, an hour? And that included building a raft.
4 hours away from. You've been 4 hours away from the
4
site.
hours.
Right.
How
Can I make a
about
point?
we tie it somewhere?
Can I make a point?
Mhm.
Geniuses. Does anyone have any rope?
Let's have a look.
Is rope an item in Fallout?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I have no rope.
Morgan used clothes.
An excellent suggestion, Morg.
Morg genius. Him say.
I mean, I think I'm like a lab coat. I'm just carrying around for no reason.
You could fashion rope out of excess clothing if you wish to.
All right, then we technically have rope, I guess.
Right. So, your options are such. We take the cow back. We take the Brahmin back, sorry. Or we tie it up, hope it's still alive when we come back. Yeah, and take it back with us.
I'd rather we tie it. Like going back is not really promising in my. Rather tie it than let it wander off completely.
Okay.
All right.
Is that your plan?
Yeah. No one else
Okay.
is saying anything, so I'm gonna go tie it.
Who's sacrificing their clothes to turn it into rope?
I have an extra lab coat, so I'm gonna
An
use
extra
that.
one. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
you tear the lab coat up and plait the pieces together to make it tough. You approach the Brahmin.
I approached the Brahmin.
Can you make a?
Is anyone else good at this? Like, do I need to go do that?
Oh, mate, I'm literally sat there with the gun waiting for you to get shot. Not by me, but by the Brahmin. It's going to randomly pull out a hand and go.
That would be pretty harsh of me to do.
It would be funny. Bug.
Can you make a perception? Oh, I don't know.
Right,
Fact,
so
no,
survival skill.
make any rolls. I'm just going to tell you because I don't think this system is set up in such a way that making perception rolls like this is the way to go. You approach the Brahmin. One of its heads continues eating. The other one looks at you as you approach it. It doesn't do anything. You loop the rope around its neck. It doesn't resist you. And hi. You gonna wave at him?
I am.
Hello, Miss Hale.
Hello, Mrs. Hale.
Hello.
You loop the rope around the neck of the one that's looking at you, the head that's looking at you. It doesn't seem to react in any way, shape, or form. And when you give it a tug, it just follows you. It's slow.
All right.
It doesn't seem to care about being domesticated. When you do that, when you pull it, its neck goes forwards a little bit, and you notice there's like a collar around its neck, like a very old and faded. Could have been a blue collar at some point.
Okay. Does it have any like something like
It doesn't seem to have any markings
that's
on it.
standing out? Okay.
It doesn't seem to have any markings on it, but it looks like it as it pulls forward, like the folds of its flesh move, and you can see that there's like an old collar.
All right. I will try to find the most relatively secluded spot, and I will.
You could take it back to the tree line. That's probably the most secluded spot that you can go to.
All right, and I will tie it to a tree.
Okay, it takes a while. This thing isn't fast, and when you start to like pull it beyond, when you get impatient with it and you start to pull it, it slows down. Like it has a pace that it goes at, and that's it.
Is there plenty for it to eat around this tree line?
Is there what? Sorry.
Plenty for it to eat around this tree
Oh
line?
yeah, Brahmin will eat any vegetation going.
I mean,
Right, so there's a good chance it'll just carry on eating and not wander off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's all right. It's only we'll be gone for days. I don't think it's gonna starve to death.
So what, you're going to tie it to a tree?
Yeah.
Cool. No problem. So you captured a Brahmin.
Potentially.
Damn heroes.
If it's that slow, like it's gonna take 2 days to take it back after.
I mean, at the rate that it's traveling, in order to get it to the tree line, it probably takes you another hour. And you think if you're traveling back to the raft, it's probably going to take you. It took you 3 hours to get to where you are now. It's probably going to take you 5 hours to get back to the raft with the Brahmin in tow.
Okay.
All right. What if Morg carries it to the raft?
Then Morg will be slower. Morg. You guys could never pick up the Brahmin. Morg probably could pick up the Brahmin, but Morg will be physically slower in the process. It's a big, heavy animal.
All right.
Right,
Fair
so
enough.
let's hope on the way back we're not in a hurry.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going north, I guess.
Okay. So you bypass Fredonia, and you continue through the flatlands of Indiana. Do you move back to the coast of the river again, or do you stay out further in the flatlands?
I'd say we go to the river.
Go to the river. Yeah.
Yeah. In case we find
Cool.
something.
No
Relevant.
problemo. You continue walking along the coast for another. It takes about 4 hours. You can see in the distance the settlement of Leavenworth. This is a larger town. Like Fredonia was in its height was probably a cluster of small shops, and then some residential buildings around it, arranged around itself. Leavenworth was probably a larger, probably thriving town. It's in ruins now. There are some intact buildings still in place. But the you can see as you approach it, you can see 4 buildings that are mostly intact, and a whole host of residential properties that are maybe less than 50% still standing, like just external walls. The occasional one that's 2 stories, you can see like half a floor still sticking out. It's you think in its heyday was probably quite a large place, quite a thriving place.
So, I am going to put my gun in my hand. Yes, I'm going to unholster it. And I'm going to have a quick look up and down the street. When I'm looking at the shops, do I recognize, considering how old I am, anything that kind of looks like a hardware store, a bits and bobs shop? You know, those kind of things that might make me go,
At a distance, it's a bit difficult, but as you get closer, you identify what you think. The nearest building to you is an old diner that's built in the style of one of those kind of like how do you describe it? Those kind of like steel streamline, looks like a bus that's been converted into a diner, but it's a bit bigger than that.
all I can think to myself with this, mate, is the big bus cafe on the A64, which was a red bus turned into a fucking cafe.
No, this is more like what I imagine to be like a classic 1950s American diner.
Right. So a container that has been made into a cafe.
Sort of, something like that. It's stylized though, and it looks. It's a style, sort of 50s stylized structure that seems to be largely intact. Beyond that, there are several ruins, and then one larger building which looks like it might be some kind of general store. There is another building a bit further down the main street that is that might be a doctor's office or a pharmacy, and then on the far side of town, there's a fairly large structure that looks like it might be a school.
Right. You're going to have to give me a moment. The kitten's moaning so fucking much I'm going to murder it, so I need to go feed the cat.
Okay. Bag, bridge, river.
Fuck off.
Easy peasy. At this point, you're starting to feel hungry.
I mean, we can check the diner right after.
Well, check the diner first if we're feeling hungry. Let's get that out of the way, eat something, go from there.
All right. We can do that.
We'll head towards the diner.
All right. You can see you approach the diner. There are ruined cars parked in what used to be the parking lot.
Anything salvageable from the cars?
If you want to spend time trying to salvage.
Oh, is it going to take a long time?
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the diner first.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. So you see the building. You can see an entrance. There are what used to be glass windows all the way around the outside of it on 3 sides, and then a kitchen at the back. All of the windows are smashed.
Great sign.
As you approach the diner, who's going first? Who's opening the door first?
I'll open the door.
Okay. You push the door, and it meets a little bit of resistance to start with. You push it again, and it pushes past the resistance. A bell rings above the door, and you hear a skittering sound. Several skittering sounds from inside the building.
Like giant cockroach skittering sounds. Yeah.
Like giant cockroach skittering sounds. Rad roaches,
Right.
yes.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be the famous Ratmo encounter. It's the famous Radroach encounter.
Okay, I will let the door swing back closed,
Okay.
and I will let my colleagues know that there is every chance that there are a number of radroaches on the other side of the door.
Okay. I don't know how the balance of this game is, but I wouldn't want to waste energy shots on rad roaches. So I'm gonna like pull out my combat knife.
Okay.
See how that goes.
Morgul, I guess, have one like his machete out, but
I'm gonna let more go first.
Yeah.
yeah, Morgul go first and open the
More go
door
smash roach.
and like duck down and like go inside.
Okay. This is going to be the first combat, so you're going to have to bear with me while like I've read all this, but this is going to take a little bit of time to figure things out. All right.
No worries. We can also wait a second for Rack. Rack.
If you'd like to wait for Rack, we can wait for Rack and give me a chance to have a quick look through this stuff
I
again.
think we shouldn't make him waste.
All right.
So Morg is going through the door first and initiating combat on whatever happens to be in there, right?
Mhm.
So the way combat works in Fallout, the person who initiates combat goes first. And then there's initiative order that happens after that. I think I have an initiative tool on here. Yes, I do. Oh, no, I'm not going to use that. Screw that. I'll make a... I'll use Notepad.
And thank you for letting me go first because my initiative sucks.
Oh no, please go
More.
ahead.
Right, so your initiative is equal to your perception plus agility score plus any bonuses you get from perks or equipment. So, beyond Morg, the three of you, what are your initiative ratings?
8.
Hey, that's Morg's.
You have wait. Do we say perception plus agility?
Agility.
Yes.
I have 14 then.
Okay.
How do you have 8?
How do I have 8? 4
Yeah.
and 4.
4 and 4. Oh god.
Same with Morg. He's not fast.
Yeah.
Joe, what's your initiative?
Let me see. 15.
No.
Ooh,
What's
fast
it?
boy.
What is it a thing of?
Hmm?
What's it a combine of again?
Agility and perception.
Yep, 15.
15. The creatures have initiative equal to their body plus mind.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. I just clicked on it.
No, you're all good. Rad scorpions, no. Rad roaches. You don't want to be up against rad scorpions.
No.
Particularly.
I mean, we have Morg. Yes, he could handle a rat scorpion.
There are 4 roaches in here, and they have an initiative rating of 9. So, when you walk into you push the door open, and when you walk into the diner itself, it's as you would expect a 1950s diner to look after 200 years. It's dirty. There is broken glass everywhere. You can see there are cups and plates, some on the table, some on the floor, some of them smashed beyond all recognition. But you see the large bloated bodies of 4 mutated roaches, rad roaches. You've seen these before. You've probably eaten many of these in the past.
Morgan's probably licking his lips.
Okay. I'm going to be clever and I'm going to grab that. So I don't have to keep referencing the book.
After all, we're starting to get hungry and thirsty, right?
Yeah,
You certainly are.
I am also licking my lips.
I mean, it's not unreasonable for you guys to eat rad roach meat.
Morgan, you would probably be like,
Oh. Yum yum.
I don't have enough screens.
How many screens have you got again?
Not enough.
3?
I've got 3.
Yeah.
Let's make that a bit smaller. And then move that over it. That's better. And then I can just have the combat section open. Where's the combat section gone? Up here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so in combat, you have a minor action and you have a major action that you can do. Minor actions are aim, which basically means you spend some time aiming. Draw item, which means you're switching to another item in your inventory that you don't currently have readied. Interact with equipment or environment in some way. Moves up to one zone. Basically, the way that these situations are set up, where you're going into, everyone starts off outside. Inside is a separate zone. So you're moving into that zone as you're actually Morg. You'll start off in the combat zone in the first instance. All right.
with the machete drawn. Okay.
With the machete drawn, as you described, or you can take a chem as a minor action. One of the things that you can do is, if you want to act faster, you can spend a luck point and take your turn immediately next. Right. So if you want to shift yourself up the initiative order, just spend a luck point and you become the next person in the list. All right. Major actions include assisting another person in a test, attacking, either with ranged or melee weapons, commanding an NPC, defend, which makes yourself more difficult to basically pushes your defense rating up. Using first aid on somebody. You can pass your turn to somebody else and do nothing. You can rally. You grit your teeth and catch your breath and prepare to make yourself make an endurance plus survival test. The difficulty 0. Save any action points you generate. Oh, basically, you can generate action points by doing that. You can ready, describe the situation you expect to occur, and choose a major action you will perform when it does. So you can basically hold your action until something specific happens. You can sprint, which moves you 2 zones, or you can perform a skill test of some description. All right.
Did you say I can give someone an extra turn?
No.
You said you could give somebody else your action.
You can pass your action, or you can ready yourself. So basically, say I'm going to do a thing at a particular time. So if you're waiting for something to happen in that combat turn. So for example, if you said, I'm not going to attack until Morg has killed the first rad roach, then
I thought there was something in there that said you could pass your action on somebody else. That's what I heard, but I'm just missing it.
Yeah. Okay.
You could assist another character with their test.
You can spend a luck point to take your turn there and then, I think is what you're thinking, Phil.
Defend, first aid, pass, rally, ready, sprint, and test.
Okay.
All right. So you get to do 1 minor action and 1 major action on your combat turn. If you spend an action point, you can take an additional minor action. If you spend 2 action points, you can take 1 additional major action. So if you want to do 2 attacks, you can do 2 attacks by spending 2 action points.
What page you on?
This is on page 25.
Okay.
And the next page as well.
How far away are the roaches from?
So combat in this version doesn't really take into consideration active ranges.
Okay.
It's just zones. So you are in the same zone as these 4 creatures.
Okay.
Everyone else is outside and will have to traverse into the zone in order to be able to engage them in melee, or can attack with ranged weapons from outside with variable chain adjustments for cover, etc.
Okay. Well, there is room for people to like come in behind them and flank and everything.
So if you were to go into an attack, I assume you've already walked in, so you're in the same zone. I imagine you'd basically get in and you'd be smacking into them, and other people could enter the zone as well.
Right. So my major action would probably be smacking the closest rad roach.
Okay.
To me, I don't know what in particular, whatever the ugliest one is.
They all look pretty much the same level of ugliness.
All right.
They're not nice looking by any stretch of imagination. But yeah, that's fine. You step forward and make your attack.
Okay.
So your attack will be based on your weapon. And when we do the attack, that's on page 27. Select one weapon you're currently wielding, then select a single character, creature, or object as the target. If you're using a melee weapon, the target must be visible to you and within your reach, which it is.
All right.
If you're using a ranged weapon, it must be visible to you. Choose hit locations. Do you want to hit it in a particular location, or are you just looking to hit it?
The torso, because I'm pretty sure probably Morgan is familiar with like the rad roaches can like live or do something without their head.
Okay, so the difference between the two is if you're aiming for a particular location, it pushes the difficulty of the attack up by 1.
Okay.
But you're more likely to do a critical, not a critical. What's the word I'm looking for? A
Special debuff.
You're more likely to do more damage to them, basically, like add a status effect.
Critical. Okay.
If you don't choose to do a hit location, you're just hitting them, and it will happen at random.
Okay. So I got my machete, and I click it.
So yeah, you need to do strength plus melee with a difficulty equal to your target's defense. In this case, their defense is 2 because they're small. They're more difficult to hit, but they also don't have many hit points. So if you hit them, there's a fairly good chance you're going to kill them.
Okay, so I got the 2d20 strength and melee. Roll 2 successes.
So
okay, lovely. That is sufficient in order to hit. If you pass the test, roll 1d20 or hit location die to determine the part of the body that you hit. If you choose a specific hit location already, you hit the chosen location. So roll a d20.
So /R?
Yeah, /R 1d20.
11.
Okie dokie.
What's this little...
11.
We did this before, but I can't remember how we did it.
This would be its left arm, so it's basically left front legs, effectively.
Gotcha.
Next, you want to inflict damage. Roll a number of combat dice, which is the ones with a little face on them.
Gotcha.
Listed by the weapon's damage, plus any bonuses from derived stats, or from AP or ammo spent. Reduce the target's health points by the total rolled. So, and if they've got resistances, they gets reduced by that. Now, at this point, it's worthwhile mentioning, if you guys don't know already, you can spend an action point to add 3 damage to your roll, 3 dice to your damage roll. And you can do that multiple times, I believe.
Gotcha. So my add additional dice would be my modifier to my melee damage.
Yeah. So I think in your case it will be the weapon's damage plus your strength.
So, like, I see melee bonus. Would that be 6 and a modifier 3?
Let's have a look.
Okay.
1 second. Let's pull up.
Because if I add my strength, that'd be like an extra 12.
Oh no, it's calculated. Sorry, it's calculated in based on your strength. No, I think we did work this out already, didn't we?
Yeah, I think, but I can't remember.
Yeah, in combat it says melee bonus modifier. It's probably done.
Let me look it up.
Gotcha. No worries.
Hit locations, range attack, range, combat dice. There's a specific thing for this. I know because we talked about this before, didn't we?
We did, but I just can't remember now because it's been.
Yeah, so it's the damage of the weapon plus, and it's a variable based on your strength, isn't it?
Gotcha. The damage is 3, so I guess the modifier would be 3 because the melee bonus right now it says 6, but add additional dice.
That sounds right. No, that sounds right. That sounds right.
Which one?
So it's plus 3. So
Okay.
only 6.
Oh, 6? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Do you want to spend any action points in order to increase your damage, or are you happy with what you've got?
I'm pretty happy with the 9 and the piercing thing.
So piercing ability of this for every this is going to be where it becomes slightly complicated. Oh no, there we go. For every face that you roll, that enacts the special effect of the weapon. So you've got piercing 1 on your machete. You've got 3 faces on there, which are effects. So 3 effects. With piercing 1, ignore X points of the target's damage reduction for each roll effect rolled, where X is the rating of the damage effect. So you would ignore the first 3 levels of damage reduction. They don't have any damage reduction to physical damage. So you do 9 points of damage to it, and immediately splat. This thing is flattened, and completely destroyed out for the count. Sorry, that was a bit long-winded. It's going to be you'll get quicker, I promise you.
Oh, fun.
Okay, next person on the initiative order is Joe.
Yep.
Joe, what would you like to do?
How damaged is one of them?
How damaged is one of them?
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 that haven't been hit yet, and 1 that's been killed.
Okay. I will look for yeah, that's a bad idea. Right, okay, in that case then I will pull out the gun and shoot one.
Okay, it's difficult to see them from where you are outside.
I mean,
So-
I'll move appropriately to the right distance.
Well, it's not so much distance as whether or not you're going to stay outside or go inside. If you go inside, if you move into the inside zone, then you won't have any penalties to your shot.
Mhm.
If you stay outside, because of the fact that there are walls and things in the way, it becomes awkward for you to fire. So you'll have an additional difficulty to hit.
What does an additional difficulty do for the sake of the dice roll mechanics?
Their defense is 2.
Yep.
So you would need 3 successes in order to hit.
Right. Okay, that makes more sense. Right, I will move in closer to the building to be able to get a better shot. I need to get a better shot. And I presume that's my main action.
So just to clarify, you either stay out of the building.
I'm going in.
You're going in. Cool. So you're going to go in through the door and you're going to shoot at one of them, yeah?
If I have the actions to do so, yes.
Of course you do. Yeah, you can move one zone. That's fine. And
Moving
you can attack with one.
is bonus action.
Yeah. It's minor action or bonus action.
It's a minor
Minor,
action. Right, okay, cool. Minor action move, major action, bang.
Okie dokie. So you need to make a roll that is based on ranged weapon, agility plus small guns, or endurance plus big guns, or perception plus energy weapons.
It's 2d10. I
2d20.
don't. Pardon?
D20s.
Yeah, sorry, it's 2d20.
Okay.
The tag skill.
Yep.
And I have to remove a bullet from the thing as well.
No, you don't.
I think it does it automatically. I'm gonna guess. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So when you take a shot, it would cost you 1 ammunition to take
Yeah.
that shot. You can opt to spend more ammunition, which
Nope.
basically signifies you going bang, 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 bang. For each, this is based on when you get to the damage level. When you get to the damage level, if you want to, you can add as many of those ammunition as you want up to the fire rate of the weapon to increase the amount of damage you do by 1 die.
I only fired 1 shot and I only got 1 success, mate.
Okay. Would you like to re-roll? Because you can spend a luck point to re-roll that 13.
Yeah. Because I've only got 20 rounds of ammunition for this.
Mhm.
I'll go down to 4. And then how do I re-roll?
Just roll a d20.
That's 2 successes.
Brilliant. Awesome. You successfully hit. So what's the damage rating of your weapon?
Brilliant. It doesn't tell me. It's a 44 Magnum, mate.
It does tell you. Definitely in there.
I haven't put it in there, mate.
Okay,
I think it's
that's fine.
6. I think it's 6 dice off the top of my head.
44. Small guns, 44 pistol. 6 dice, vicious.
Right.
You probably want to make a note of that. It's on page 95.
Give me a second.
Do you want to spend any additional ammunition to increase your damage?
How much damage am I doing?
6 dice at the moment.
I don't think I need to do any more additional damage there. Do you?
Probably not.
They've got 6 hit points.
I'm presuming I'm rolling a minimum of 1 damage a dice roll.
No, you can roll a minimum of 0 damage. So the way it works is, if you look up on how much damage that Morg did a second ago,
Oh, it's
you've got
D3s,
numbered-
isn't it?
it's
0, 1, and
sort of, yeah,
right.
sort of D3s. So
So
you can either roll 0, 1, 2, or effect, which also counts as 2.
what's that dice roll? I'm just going to roll the 6 initially, and we'll see where we go from there. Which has given us 3 effects, 5 damage.
Okay, so it does more than that because you have vicious on your gun. Vicious means the attack inflicts +1 damage for each effect rolled.
So
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage you did. So you, as Morg steps forward and flattens the first one, you dart in behind as the door is starting to close, and you spot past Morg and snap a shot off with your pistol as you're in motion. The bullet hits the creature just across the top of its head and straight down into the body of it. It instantly drops and folds into itself. It is dead.
Meat ruined.
No, still perfectly intact meat. Tarkus is next. Ralph is slow.
Great. I will move in and I will shoot at the third one with my energy pistol.
Okay, that's fine. So that is based on perception plus energy weapons.
Yeah, I will do only one shot.
Okay.
Not the rapid fire or whatever you said.
You can choose that when you get to the damage level.
Okay. So it's
And don't forget, you can spend action points to increase the number of dice that you're rolling in the first instance. So if you want to, you can spend an action point to give you an extra d20, and then after that, an additional 2 action points to give you another d20. So you could be rolling 4. You need to get 2 successes, right, on the roll in order to hit.
Yeah, okay. I'll try. No, I mean I'll try the base dice.
Okay,
I need to get a feeling first for
that's
it.
fine. That's fine.
Then
That's fine. I'm just letting you know.
Ooh.
So that's 1 success. So you've missed the at this moment in time you've missed. You could spend a luck point to re-roll that 19.
Yeah, I will. Do I click on roll to assist or what?
I don't know. Try it. See what happens.
Rack, how did you do it?
You could.
I will. The damage thing.
No, how do you re-roll your?
Oh, literally, I went back to the normal roll button. I just
Oh,
put
yeah.
1d20 in.
Oh, okay, that works.
That was the simplest way to do it. My brain cells are dying.
Got 3 successes, I guess.
If you'd spent an action point, you get an action point back now because you've got 3 successes and you only needed 2.
Okay, I mean,
so that's cool. So you've rolled 3 successes. That's great. That gives you an action point back, but you can't have any more because you've got 5 already. So what's the damage of your weapon?
I think I've written down it's 4 dice.
Okay, so then roll 4 dice. Does it have any special effects with it?
It's piercing 1, I think. Yeah.
Cool. That won't make much of a difference in this situation, but that's good to know.
I'm gonna click on this face thing. What does it do?
That's
Add
it.
additional dice, fire rate 2.
So if you're rolling, that's to add additional dice into it, but based on the. So for every additional dice you want to add into the damage, it costs you 1 unit of ammunition.
Okay, then I guess I'm just rolling.
Yeah.
Do I roll damage? Wait.
It's the
No,
it's
okay.
the face ones.
I just put 4 there.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't do that. It clicks submit. It doesn't do anything here. Where's the button to roll for damage? I'm sorry.
At the top left of the screen.
Oh, okay. There.
You've got the little one with the face on. That's the damage dice. So that's going to do 3 points of damage.
Well, 3 it is, I guess.
Do you want to spend? You could spend an action point to get an additional 3. Or it's too late. No, you can't. Yeah, you can't spend.
Yeah, it's probably too late to do after.
You can spend an action point now to do an additional 3, or you could spend a luck point, I believe, to re-roll one of your dice. Or you could do a combination of the 2.
I can spend an action point to just add 3 more.
Yes.
I'll do it. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So that's 1 point, or an action point that comes out of the group pot, and then just roll another 3 dice.
It's 4 dice.
That's another 3. So that action point gives you 3 extra dice.
All right.
Okay. So that's 4. So you're 2 points off killing it. Do you want to use a luck point to re-roll one of your fails, or are you happy with just 4?
I'll just stick to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Lovely, lovely. Next is the roaches. They get to make their attacks.
I think I'm going to spend a luck point and go before the roaches.
Oh, go on then.
Okay. So am I in the building, or do I need to move into the building?
You're
'Cause I
outside
wanna-
the building. You can use your mine action to move into the building.
I will move into the building with my minor action and hit it with a wrench pipe.
Pipe wrench. Yep, no problem. Okay, so that's a melee attack. So that is
Strength plus melee.
strength plus melee. You need 2 successes in order to hit it.
Okay. Can I spend another luck point and use luck plus melee instead of strength plus melee?
You can do that. Well done for paying attention to that. At any point when I say to you, make a roll, you can spend a luck point and use your luck instead of whatever attribute I've said. And your melee weapons is 0, so you're basing it entirely off. Okay, that's clever.
No.
Nice.
No, my melee weapon's 2,
Oh, hang on a second.
I think.
It says it's 0.
It says 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says 0 on the thing.
Oh, it's 0, yeah.
Is it your unarmed? That's got the points in it.
No, it says melee weapons. It doesn't say unarmed.
Yeah.
I meant the character sheet.
Yeah, no, it's my mistake.
Okay. So at the moment, that is a failure, it's a miss.
Yeah.
You could spend a luck point to re-roll the 19 now if you wanted to.
go on then. Yeah. Why is it only rolled 2 dice?
Because you only roll 2 dice.
Oh, it's 2d10, isn't it? Yeah.
It's 2d20 to hit, unless you spend action points to increase the number of action points in the number of dice you want to use to hit. This is why you have action points, right? The whole point of it is action points are supposed to be a thing that fluctuate up and down at various points, right?
So I'm going to spend an action point. I'm going to re-roll the 19 and spend a luck point. Yeah. So I roll 2d20.
Okay. Ordinarily, I'm happy with that for this time.
Yeah.
But ordinarily, you need to declare it before you spending action points before you roll. I'm happy for you to do it this time. As we're learning. Okay, that's fine. That's
2 successes.
That's 2 successes. Yeah. That's fine. So that is a hit. So what's the damage rating of your weapon? This is where we're going to come across it.
Weapons, damage rating 3 dice.
Okay, 1 second. I need to find the strength thing. This book is so awkward. Because you got a damage modifier based on your strength.
What's your strength?
4.
So strength 4, I don't believe is a modifier. The top end is the top 2, so it's 10 to 9. I think that's.
Where are you finding this?
I am off the top of my head because I remember looking at the page last night. Give me a second because it's in the very beginning of character creation.
Oh, character creation.
I need the discard.
Be super easy if they actually just provided this.
Main rule book. This is why I did say to you, do you want me to make you a load of post-it notes to put up in the game?
I mean, if you want to.
I'll knock you some out. We need to find out what we need, if that makes sense. And this is one of those ones that if we make a note of, I'll do.
Strength. It'll be under derived stats, won't it?
More likely.
Initiative, defense, damage, resistance, melee damage. Yeah, you need to have 7 to 8. It's on page 48. 7 to 8 strength gives you +1 combat dice. 9 to 10 gives you +2, and 11 plus gives you +3.
Okay. So what do I roll? Just roll 3d20, yeah?
Three combat dice.
Strength, damage, 3 combat dice.
Yeah, so it's the combat dice you want to roll.
Which one's that? Is that the face?
The face.
Combat dice 3. 6 damage.
Oh, look at that.
I roll 7 dice and get 4 damage. You roll 3 dice and get 6.
Okay, so Tarkus steps in and shoots takes a shot and injures one of the rad roaches. The Ralph bounds in after him, leaps onto a counter, and then drops down with some force onto the remaining one of the two remaining rad roaches, killing it instantly.
Cool.
There is now only one rad roach left. I'm going to say it's the one that you were fighting, Tarkus, with a whole 2 hit points. It's going to attack. Who's it going to attack? Let's do.
Probably angry because I burned it with an energy pistol.
Yes, it was. It was actually angry with you for that. So it's going to go for you. What is your defense rating, please?
I can see that most of my body have like DR2, except the head.
So
do I see somewhere like, is there like a total DR thing somewhere?
choose target. I'm not doing a hit. Determine hit location, inflict damage. That's weird. But if you're not doing, so your head doesn't have a DR. Oh no, it's damage reduction. No, you should have a defense rating. Let's call you up. Hang on a second. I'll call you up and we'll figure out where it is.
Is it somewhere on the sheet? Like, does like outright say my defense rating?
Yes, it does. So where you're looking at your sheet with your hit locations on it,
yeah,
the top right hand corner of that has your defense rating.
Top right corner.
Yeah. So next to where it says head, to the right of that, it says defense.
Oh, defense. Oh, okay, I see that.
So what's your defense rating?
1.
Okay. Oh, this is awkward. How am I supposed to roll then? Oh, I'll do it on Good Boy. Good Boy's going to be my rolling partner for this one. And I am doing. How's a storyteller supposed to do this?
I don't know, mate. This is part of the reason why I was hoping we'd sit down at some point and nail some of these.
Maybe.
Don't worry about it. I'm just going to roll it. Right. Ignore what it actually says, because all I'm interested in is the roll. So when I roll, I'm rolling under 5. So I get 1 success, which is enough to hit you. So I do some damage. Cool. My damage is.
When the roaches have more defense than I do.
It's because they're small.
Oh, okay.
It's purely because they're small. So the rad roach that you were looking at scuttles up the counter and launches itself at you. You feel the impact of it physically landing on your body. You feel it. You feel like the sharp incisors of its mouth try to get to purchase, and then the whole thing slips off onto the floor. It lands on its back and then rights itself. It does no damage to you.
There's some emotional damage if a cockroach does that to someone.
Yeah, emotional damage. So that's that. That's the end of the turn. Morg goes back to.
Morg, please come finish this thing.
Morg goes back to their normal initiative rating.
Oh no, he's really slow. Oh no.
Right. So now we start again. This time with Joe. Joe is the first person. There is 1 rad roach left. It is
2 HP.
Horribly burnt with a blast from Tarkus's laser pistol. What would you like to do? Or do nothing. You can do nothing. You can choose to.
I was just literally going to say, Morg, you want to finish this off? And I'm going to holster the gun.
Sure.
I think this might like the roadsman play before Morg does? I don't know the initiative of Morg.
Right, okay,
Morg
next
is
I
8.
should move out of the building.
Okay, so you go stand outside.
Yeah, I'm safe. I'm safe.
So you holster your
Any
gun.
melee weapon to attack it or something?
You
Mate, I
holster your
got
gun.
0 and 4. I'm not rolling shit.
You don't risk anything.
So you
Just
holster
do
your
it.
gun. You take a couple
I'm
of
not
steps. You
leaving
open
it.
the
I'm
door.
leaving it to the man with the job of hitting things.
What
Step
if she
outside.
plays?
Prop up against the wall
After
and just
the
relax and wait for the thing to fall out. Yeah, fine.
So-
Love it. Okay, next on the list is Tarkus. What would you like to do?
Gonna take out my combat knife and try to hit it.
So you're changing weapons.
Yeah, I'm changing
So,
weapon.
You're
Oh.
drawing an item. So your minor action is draw an item. You don't need to move anyway. So that's absolutely fine. And then you're going to attack with your combat knife. So your combat knife is a melee weapon. So you need to roll strength plus melee.
This is gonna be amazing roll.
You need
what's
2
this?
successes to hit.
Strength plus melee.
Really don't have enough screens. I might have to put my laptop on.
And
Okay.
that's that. I'm not re-rolling anything. And save
Oh.
your breath.
Okay, so you take out your combat knife and you sweep it down towards the rad roach that just attacked you. The blade sails past it. It skitters to the left, and the blade sails past it ineffectually.
Great.
Next on the list is the rad roach.
Wait.
Which is going to go again for you, Tarkus.
Wait, you're not gonna roll again? Who's gonna
No,
go for you?
No,
Want
it's going for you.
go for me?
It's going for you. You're the one who's attacking it. So I'm just going to make a quick roll on here.
Right. I've seen this before.
It leaps towards you, and you kind of take half a step backwards, and its leap falls short, and it lands directly on the ground in front of you.
Wait, you only need one success, right, to hit me? No.
Yeah, I'm using the good boy's character sheet, but I know what the target number actually needs.
Okay.
It's 7 didn't make it. It
Great.
needs 6. Okay.
Someone killed this thing.
Next on the list is Ralph.
I try to hit it with a pipe again.
Okay. So that is a strength plus melee check.
Yeah.
And again, if you want to use action points, you can use action points if you want to.
Nah.
Are you just are you actually using strength, or are you going to spend a luck point to?
No, I'm just going to use strength and melee.
Okay. It's going to give you a target number of 4 to hit. Okay, that's fine.
Missed.
Yeah.
That's even worse than mine.
So the first one was pure luck. When you leaped across the counter and you landed the blow. The second time you wheeled the pipe wrench, and it's like it doesn't quite fly the way that you were expecting to in the first place. You have to heft it a bit more, and you sweep it and you hit the floor next to it.
Okay.
Morg.
Morg, please just take this thing out.
Hopefully it does.
Stamp.
No.
There's no way this thing's still gonna survive.
Still alive.
I blame Rack. Rack would have killed it, and we would like be done, but like unarmed. He would
I
killed
have
it.
20 rounds of ammunition for this. I have 19
Unarmed.
rounds.
I'm just saying, like hit it with something, anything, like just
Right.
like kill it. It's
Just-
too late to hit the kid part.
Just to make you feel better, yeah? I'll roll the
Can I-
round roll.
Can I take a major action? Like, spend a action point to take another major action and attack it again?
You can, but ordinarily, this time you can. Ordinarily, you need to dictate that beforehand.
Sure.
I don't know why you're rolling, Rack, because it's not your turn yet.
That was just me shutting Peter.
He
off
wanted
by
to make a point.
Okay.
Like,
I
he
made
would
my
have,
point.
I would have missed.
All right.
I need to look up something real quick.
Because now we got 2 in the collective.
Yeah, there's an additional problem though. Oh, I know
Oh.
what we're going to do. You're using a
I
machete,
just
yeah?
had a luck point to reroll one of those. Or do you need 2 successes?
You need 2 successes.
But the target's 15.
It's
right?
fine.
A luck point would re-roll that, and the chances are it's going to be a critical success.
No, the
Which will give
target
you 2
number's 15.
successes.
Target number's 15.
Yeah.
The critical range is 3.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
And if you get an extra success, it gives you back an action point, not a luck point. I guess luck points are more important than action points, maybe?
Luck points come back in a different way.
Right.
More importantly, you rolled a 20, which means complication.
Yeah.
So you go to hit with your machete, you miss, and you hit the floor with quite some force.
Gotcha.
The force, an inhuman level of force, punctures the floor and wedges your machete in it.
Gotcha.
You will need to take an action to pull it out.
Okay. So a major action or just a minor action?
It would take a major action to pull it out.
All right. And so you use the action points to pull it out, or
so if you've spent, we're going to assume that you spent an action point beforehand, because you should have declared it beforehand, right? So you were declaring you're going to spend it to get an extra major action. You can use that major action now to wrench the machete out of the floor.
Okay, so we got 2. So that would be strength and athletics.
You don't need to make a roll; it just happens.
Okay.
Right, so
Gotcha.
you pull it out. So you don't get your second attack, but you also don't have to worry about your weapon being wedged in the floor.
Okay.
Next combat round. Joe,
Please.
you lighting up a cigarette, just chilling outside, wondering why it's taking them so long?
Truthfully, I'm actually surveying the area while I'm outside because I know that gun's loud.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my actual plan. I've gone outside, so we are not going to get caught by something else coming in.
All right, that's good.
Do you need me to make a roll?
I do need you to make a roll.
What do you need?
And that roll is going to be a perception survival check, please.
I mean, I'm not going to argue. One success on that.
Okay. You hear movement from some of the ruins nearby. You don't see anything.
Guys, get that dealt with quickly. There's other things out here.
Okay, Tarkus. Combat knife again?
No, I'll shoot it with the gun this time because I don't want to get hit by a fucking roach on the first mission.
Okay.
I want to see you get murdered by the roach on the first.
Oh, right! Shut up! Like you've just missed 2 times to attack the goddamn roach.
Okay.
All right.
So
Not
make
wasting the ammo.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm wasting my hit points, I guess now. All right, so it's perception and energy weapons, right?
It is, yeah.
2d20.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna roll an action point. Thank God.
Critical, 2 successes.
Thank God.
That's what you need in order to hit it. So roll the damage rating of the weapon. Do you want to spend? Well, hang on a second. Before you do that, right? You can spend an action point to increase it by 3. You have to declare that before you roll damage.
No, I like 4 dice to do 2 damage. Like it has to happen. Like
okay.
Yeah,
Crack
fuck
on
you.
Then, there you go.
Bitch
Perfect.
roach.
5 damage.
I'll be the best fuck you're never gonna have.
It's the same damage with 4 dice that I did with 7 dice before.
There is a scent of ozone and a flash of red light, and the creature is hit once again with laser.
Oh yeah. By the way, Rack, I think the ammo doesn't go down on its own, so you need to.
Yeah, it does.
Edit. No, it didn't for me. I don't know.
It doesn't. You do have to edit it. My apologies.
Okay, I did.
the creature sizzles and dies. When it hits, it kind of flies backwards and lands on its back, and its legs kind of like flitter for a second and then go. They start to retract. The scene is quiet. 4 radroaches have been killed.
Morg will laugh and go and grab the one that he killed. And then slap Tarkus on the back.
You did good.
Tarkus is very salty.
Everybody killed one. That was good.
Yeah.
I did not steal someone else's kill. Phil's there like, dickhead, but that's true. And there's you there like instant salt generator.
Uh-oh.
Okay. What are you doing?
Wait a second. Wasn't the dog with us? Why didn't it attack?
Because it's a dog and it's got intelligence, and he goes, nope.
Because Morg didn't
idiot
tell him
to deal with.
to as well.
Exactly.
Oh.
Morg didn't tell him to. He's been sat outside patiently, watching you lot. When you came walking out, you probably heard it saying, grumbling something under his breath about you lot all being idiots.
Also, remember, good boy is Russian, so that's a Russian accent. So yeah.
No, he doesn't. He has a British accent.
Oh, he does. Okay, I thought we.
It's easy for Chris to do.
He has to sound like a cunt because it's like a smart-ass dog, yeah.
He could have Russian accent. Do you want to have a Russian accent? We can have a Russian accent.
That's what I thought we agreed
Okay,
on.
all right, he's got a Russian accent.
Okay.
Then. All right, you hear him say something in Russian. You're fairly sure it's probably translates to "what a bunch of idiots."
I'm gonna look at him and go, not saying shit.
What are you doing? Do you want to? So at this point, like these animals, when you kill animals, you can butcher them for meat.
Okay. Didn't Joe mention there's something out there? Shouldn't we address
I'm
that first?
still looking around. I said there could be something moving out here.
You don't see anything.
Do I need to make another roll?
No, you don't see anything.
All right. I'm gonna go.
So options you have available to you now, you could butcher the radroaches for meat. Raw meat is not good for you, but will fill you up. You could opt to make a camp and cook the meat, which is much better for you. You could scavenge for supplies in the diner. You can scavenge for supplies outside the diner, or you can move on. Or anything else you can think of. Like
I'm
this
going to
is not
scavenge for supplies inside the diner.
okay. You need to make a endurance survival check, then, please.
Can I do the same thing?
You can.
Morg will be butchering the roaches to cook.
I'm going to spend a luck point, Chris.
All right. Wait. Slow down.
Okay.
Let's do. So who's butchering?
Morg is.
Morg is butchering the radroaches, and you two are doing scavenging, and Joe is on Overwatch, right?
I'm on Overwatch.
Cool. Excellent.
Also, if Morg notices that good boy is outside, Morg will tell him to help with
Overwatch.
Yeah. He probably won't even call it Overwatch. He'd like watch.
Watch.
Or some, I don't know.
Better than over.
Duh.
He'd probably even call it Underwatch or some shit. I don't know.
Looky watch.
Okay, scavenging. Where the hell is the butchering? Food isn't a food.
Is it maybe survival? I don't know.
This book is so weird in how it's laid out. Crafting.
do you find it more laid out worse than VTM?
Oh, 1,000 times worse. I'm searching through keywords. That's not useful to me. I don't care about Diamond City. Butchery. Animal NPCs can often be butchered, taking their meat sometimes for other useful parts. Right. How do you do that then? That's a fucking brilliant sentence.
What page you on?
Oh, it's noted in the NPC's description. Oh, okay.
Find the rad
Butchery. Yes, here we go. Scavengers can butcher a dead rad roach with a successful endurance plus survival test with a difficulty of 0. This yields a portion of 1 portion of rad roach meat.
Okay, so
I actually had it on my screen all this time and I didn't notice.
Oh, right. Endurance, then survival.
Yes.
Let me find it. Here we go. I'm not doing that. I got 1 success
And 1 complication.
and 1 complication. So
okay.
I ate some of the raw meat. I don't know.
It's very fitting that Morg got 2 complications so far.
Okay, you yield a piece. You butcher one of the rad roaches, and you get some meat from it. Okay. If you're collectively doing a scavenging test, 2 of you are doing a scavenging test. We'll do it the same way we did with the repair. So one of you will lead, and the other one will add a d20 into it.
Okay, I think probably Phil should do it because I don't really. I have survival 1 and endurance 6. So I don't know if he has better.
So I've got survival 3, and it's a tagged one, and I'm also going to put use luck. So
yeah,
are you
okay.
happy to let? Yeah. Okay.
What
So
do you
we
use
go
luck for?
instead of endurance,
Oh, okay, clever.
and spend an action point, and make it 4d20.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Go for it.
3 successes.
Oh, it's a shame that 4 wasn't a 3 then. Okay, 3 successes. The difficulty determined by the location's degree, which I already know. So it's 2. Oh, this book is so bad. Right. Do you know what? I think I know how I'm going to do this. Right. So the location itself. So you've got 3 successes. You needed 1 success to succeed at the first base, which means you get 2 additional successes thereafter. So you get to roll twice on the food table and twice on the beverage table. So roll 2d20. Roll 2d20 4 times. You can just do /R 2d20 if you want to.
20 and 15.
So 35. 35 is you find a preserved Salisbury steak.
And a 13.
And a 13, you find some iguana bits. Oh no, my apologies, cram. That's basically a tin of spam.
Do you want me to roll for the other roaches or go ahead? I'm sorry.
Yes, can you do 3 more rolls of those, please?
Salisbury. Steak. Thank you.
Or are you talking to me?
Yeah, do 3 more
Okay.
Butchery checks.
Gotcha. Oh, hey, meat.
Lovely. That will give you a action point back.
Oh.
You needed 0 successes, and you got one above. Well, technically, actually, it would give you 2 action points back, but you can't get 2 action points. That's fine. Yep, you get another unit of meat.
All right. Ooh.
And another one.
So we're back at 5 action points.
You up? Yeah.
Nice. Then.
And another one. Perfect. Perfect. So you get 4 units of radroach meat, some cram and some Salisbury steak, and then if you want to do another 2 D20 rolls for me, Phil, because you get 2 beverages as well here.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that.
Yeah, right. Eight. Ooh, 1 bottle of Nuka-Cola Cherry.
Taste the feeling.
And 24. A bottle of purified water.
Okay, so that was 1 bottle.
Nuka Cherry.
Cherry, 1 bottle. Purified water. Cool.
So you got 4 units of radroach meat, 2 units of food, 2 units of beverages. That all takes about half an hour.
Okay.
No, doesn't it? Takes 10 minutes. My apologies. It takes 10 minutes. You towards the end of that time, Joe,
Yo,
do us a favour.
what do you need?
Make a perception survival roll.
Give me a second. Let me just get on the right page. I need to do this. Perception survival roll. Roll. And now I need to open the other freaking page. 0 successes.
Can you change your name? It looks ridiculous every time you roll.
Just leave it for now. I will change it later, but there is a reason why it's on there.
Joe,
'cause I've got-
pretty boy Floyd, Mr. Sudden Death rolls 0 successes.
That's because there's 3 characters there referenced in, which I'm trying to take parts from each to remind me certain things. If you can get the Mr. Sudden Death reference, well done.
Not really.
Right, well then. To be fair, how old are you?
30 this summer.
Okay, so it's a bit
Mere
before your
child.
time.
A mere child. You know you're the baby of the group. How strange is that a 30-year-old is the baby of the group?
Not really for me, mate, considering I'm referred to as young Brian, the Wargaming Circle.
So, you don't notice
Actually-
anything. You don't notice anything. What you do notice is Good Boy suddenly stands up. His ears prick up. His metal ears prick up. They kind of rotate, actually.
Okay.
Into
I'm going to
position.
look in the direction he's listening in.
He's looking at the building nearest you, or the remains of the building nearest you. He turns and starts scratching at the door.
Morg!
Morg will hear and come out. I guess he's packed up the radroach meat to give to one of them, so.
Or he's just like butchered them and just left them on the floor and walked off. Like, I've done what I was going to do.
Well, he probably has the meat that he won, so, that way he can split it with him and Good Boy.
Mm-hmm.
He probably just, butchers it and, grab your meat, but he'll grab his meat that he, for his kill.
Mm-hmm.
Then he'll come out.
What is
Right.
Good Boy?
Morg,
Hmm?
is the rest of the meat in there?
Yes. Morg did not eat it.
Cool. Do you want to just go in here? Because he wants to go in.
Sure. Lead on, Good
it's-
Boy.
As soon as the door opens, Good Boy sits down and looks at you. I see something.
Oh,
Chris, can we have like a rotation of accents on this dog, like a disc rotation? Like,
No, he's got a Russian accent now. Apparently, he turns around and kind of sort of steps up. His front leg comes up, and his tail goes straight back out, and he points with his nose in the direction of the building.
we go then. And then
Then Morgul wait for Good Boy to lead him on to where he's like see something.
So he takes about 3 steps forward and then stops. They come.
Mr. Death, do you mind going to get the others? Jojo.
where did they go?
They're inside.
I am going to go to the door, open the door where they are, and shout, "Guys, get over here!"
Also, don't forget meat.
And while I'm there, I will scoop up the meat and throw it in my rucksack.
Right. I hear Joe and I go towards the door.
Okay. As you're going towards the door, to close that.
Also, Morg has his machete drawn again.
So as you're drawing a machete, cool. As you're drawing your machete, you see from the building shapes start to emerge, slowly at first, and then with gathering speed, they climb up over the wall, and they drop down to the floor, look at you, and then start sprinting towards you at speed. Misshapen ghouls. 3 of them. One of them looks weird in comparison to the others. You've all seen ghouls before. You all know what ghouls look like. These are feral ghouls. But one of them has a peculiar look to him in comparison to normal ghouls. Don't know why I did that. You bear with me 1 second. Where did I put that? So the third one, as it crawls over the wall, is obviously blind. Its eyes are pure white. And as it crawls over, it doesn't look over in your direction. It turns with its head to one side, sensing with its ear rather than anything else. The skin on it is paler, significantly paler, and its teeth seem to be more jagged.
Okay.
So screens, I need screens. There, that's what I wanted. And they start running towards you. The paler one at the back seems to be slower.
Okay. I want to spend an action. Well, I like to initiate combat so I can be first in initiative, but can I also spend an action point to do a nature attack?
Well, I think they're going to initiate combat on you.
Okay, that's
More
fine.
than anything else.
Yeah, because they're running in.
That sounds fine.
Yeah.
Well, you could spend a luck point to push yourself up and
sure.
beat them to
That's
it.
what I meant. A luck point. Let me go ahead and spin that. So 3 to 4.
So they are on initiative rating of that, and he is on initiative rating of that. So you're spending a luck point to push you up to the to act first.
Right to the tippy top.
Cool. Yeah, no problem at all. So the two that are barreling towards you at the moment, basically you've got two, and then you've got one further back from them that's moving slower.
Gotcha.
The paler coloured one. They are grunting and growling as they come towards you. But you get your hit off first. What would you like to do?
Well, okay, I do want to spend an action point so I can get an extra attack.
Okie dokie. So you can do 2 major actions.
Yep, 2 major actions.
2 major actions will cost you 2 action points.
2 action points? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have 3 left, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yep.
I'm just keeping track so everyone else as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. And then when I do my 2 major actions, do they have to be on the same target? Or
nope. You can change targets. You can do whatever you like with regard to that.
All right. So I want to attack one of the dumb ones with my melee weapon.
Okie. Let's go back to the sequence of play bit.
All right.
And okie dokie. Melee weapon. So strength plus melee on the first one, on Ghoul 1.
Ghoul 1. Hit.
So their defense rating is 1.
Gotcha.
So you've scored an extra success than what you needed. That gives you an action point back.
Okay. Yay. And then do the little guy here. Additional dot. It would be 3, I believe.
It's 6.
Oh, 6.
Because it's 3. It's 3 for the weapon plus your strength modifier because you've got strength higher than 11. You do plus 3.
Yeah. Okay. So 12.
With piercing, but that won't matter for this because they don't seem to have much in the way of damage reduction, so that's okay. You hit it for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 points of damage. As it launches itself in the air towards you, you quickly sweep your cut through the air and cut the first one in half.
Gotcha.
It lands on the floor. Its legs go limp. Its upper body initially starts to drag itself in your direction, and then it goes limp and lays on the floor.
Okay. Then here's the second one.
Yeah.
A success and a botch.
You are the absolute god of rolling 20s.
Yes.
You should be playing D&D.
I know.
Okay. Okay, this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
You hit. Make your damage roll.
Okay. I want it doesn't do that. Fuck.
Okay, so you sweep with cut in the first direction, and then cutting the first one in half, and then double back with it in the opposite direction. The attack hits and again cleaves it in half, but as it does so, you put so much force into it that again it sweeps through and hits into the floor. This time, however, you're hitting into concrete, and you feel something not quite right as the handle of your machete breaks off from the blade.
No!
Making it currently unusable. Could be repaired, but it's currently unusable.
It went out with a bang.
So that's all right, though, because you've eliminated 66% of the enemies in the first turn without anything happening anyway. The mutated ghoul. Oh. Mutated ghoul. Well, it's going to do what it's going to do anyway, so that's okay. It's going to make an attack on you. Stupid that I have to do it this way, but
the blind one.
The blind one.
Okay.
Does it have like very high initiative, or is it because they attacked first?
It's because they attacked first. Whoever initiates combat goes first, and then initiative order happens after that. And then if you want to move quicker, you can spend a luck point. Unless somebody wants to spend a luck point to go before it, it's going to get an attack in on Morg.
I mean, how does it work? Like all three of them initiated combat?
Yes.
How many of them are there?
One left.
Just one left.
Yes.
How many damage did you do, Morg?
12 the last time.
24 in total.
Yeah, 24 damage in total.
How do you recover luck?
If you have a trinket, you can spend a turn looking at your trinket and contemplating it. Otherwise, you get it back when you sleep or under other circumstances.
Right, I will spend a luck point.
Okay, that pushes you ahead of the mutated ghoul.
Yeah, I will quick draw. Sure. I will fire an additional bullet to make the extra damage thing.
Oh, hang on. Make your attack roll first.
Yeah, that's what I'm just working out. So,
Are you spending action points in your attack roll?
give me a second while I just sort out agility, small guns. Cool. Right. What can I do to make it 3d6? 3d20.
Spend one action point when it give you an additional d20. It gives you 3 d20.
Do you guys mind?
No.
It'll give us 3, so yeah, no worries.
The whole point is it's supposed to fluctuate.
Yeah. Phil?
Yeah, go for it.
Right, okay, cool. Just making sure, so I'll make that. So, does somebody want to mark down the action point thing for me?
I've got it. I've got it.
So I'm going to roll the 3d20. Oh
Awesome.
my fucking god, right.
Awesome.
It's
Complication.
Can I luck point that to re-roll one?
You can, but you're going to get complication irrespective.
wait, Rack, you hit it. I think you only need one success,
You
right?
did hit it.
Yeah.
I did hit it, right.
If you want to spend a luck point, you can re-roll one of your failed ones in order to try and get more successes to top your action points back up.
I will do that. I'll go down to 2 luck.
Okay.
And then I will 1d20 roll. Hope for that. That's a critical.
Okay, that's cool. That puts you back up to 5 action points. See how this works.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's nice to know. 5 action points, right? Okay. Not luck. And then I will roll my damage.
Yep.
Which is 6 combat dice.
Yeah. Do you want to spend any ammunition to increase that? Or are you happy with 6 combat dice?
Spend 1, yeah.
Okay, then go ahead.
So that goes to 7, yeah?
Yeah. And it's vicious, so
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7, 8. Because the effect dice add an additional point of damage because you have vicious on that gun.
Okay.
Okay. You happy with that?
I think so. 8
Okay.
points of damage on it.
So you quickly whip out your pistol, you take aim, and ba-bang, fire off 2 shots. Hits in the chest and the neck.
Mm-hmm.
The bullets enter the body, exit out of the back. The creature takes 2 more steps forwards, trying to close the distance between itself and Morg, and falls flat on its face directly in front of him.
Right. And the complication. Does the gun jam?
Your gun jams after the second bullet comes out.
It doesn't come out. It stays in the chamber, so the chamber's locked. I've got to unlock the chamber.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. It's going to take a repair check to undo it.
I'm going to look at the Brotherhood of Steel guy who I've forgotten the name of.
Tarkus?
I think Ralph is the
Ralph.
repair expert.
I am going to let my gun air off and cool down a bit. I'll then just go, Ralph, you mind having a look? As he ferrets around with his printer in his workspace, enthusiastically looking for the parts to fix a revolver.
Running towards fix it, Chris.
It's just a repair check, normal repair check.
This is where we roll
Intelligence, yeah?
Intelligence, yeah.
This is where we roll another 20. I'm going to cry.
Go on, roll a 20. Go on, roll a 20.
No.
2 successes.
Okay, cool. It doesn't take you very long. You fix it without any difficulties at all.
And then I will turn my attention to Morg's cut and do the same.
Okay.
Yay! Thank you,
2
Mr. Ralph.
successes.
You very quickly put it back together again. It's just the binding on the handle. You undo it and put it all back on again properly, and it repairs it properly for it.
Morg will most likely give you a big hug.
Brilliant.
Morg. There's more of those creatures in the perimeter. I smell them.
He'll turn to the others. There's more.
How many more do we know?
I can smell the presence. I cannot smell their numbers.
Enough. Right.
Maybe
I'm
we
going
should.
to look at this building. Yeah. Is it defensible?
When you say this building, what are you talking about?
So the building where where I've opened the door and the ghouls have come from.
The building that the ghouls have come from, no, it's the remains of walls. The diner might be with some work.
Right. So what I'm going to suggest, guys, is we go back to the diner, put some up behind the door if we need to, and we just take a little bit of space.
I mean, maybe we can leave and go to the hardware store.
That is also another option.
The hardware store is further down the street in the middle of town.
Does it mean it's towards the ghouls?
So Good Boy doesn't know where they are. He just knows there's more in the town.
Do me a favor, guys. Stay here. I ain't going to be happy about this. If you hear me call, you come running. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to sit them in the diner, kind of hide them out of the way a little bit, and I'm going to slowly venture up the street, one house at a time, but I'm going to give them like a plan of which houses I'm going to, if that makes sense, locations.
Mm-hmm.
And if I see a ghoul, I'll just go, or, the amount of ghouls in hand signals, and then I'll move off to the next one. Because if they see me as me, because, hats off, sort of like stumbling around as a ghoul, I ain't going to get attacked.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. And but I'm not going to travel too far, if that makes sense. If there's like a clear space where I can move them up to so we can continue scouting, I'm going to do that.
So you're looking to scout out the town and identify where the other ghouls are?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So long story short, long story short, you can see the general store seems to have a number of ghouls in it, possibly 5. A couple of them look like the malformed ones that you saw before, the blind ones. The rest of them look normal. The doctor's office has another 4 in. One of them is one of the malformed ones. The school itself doesn't seem to have any it doesn't seem to have any ghouls in it at all. from a cursory check. That's assuming you haven't gone into the buildings and kind of like
Yeah,
dug,
that's
dug
the
around.
information I'm going to rely, and I'm going to turn around to the guys and say, look, wherever we go, we're going to be fighting. Yeah. I can probably walk in the buildings, but the moment I start disturbing things, they're going to get interested, and I don't know how they're going to react. Just because I can look, walk past one at the window and it won't think twice, doesn't mean that it's going to think twice when I walk into its room and piss on its stuff.
So, given the time out of character,
Yep, 11:30.
Can I make a suggestion that we call it at this point, where you have done your scouting and you've come back to them at the diner? Does that seem reasonable, everyone?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll stop recording now.
Okie dokie.